my goodness, this Thursday, investorschooling.com and take that free class. See you there.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You take care of your dog out of love and responsibility. But what if every scoop that you're feeding them is slowly making them sicker? Not because you're a bad pet owner, but because the pet food industry never told you the truth. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Blank, Amazon #1 best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. Dog food is dead food, stripped of every live nutrient that your dog needs. That's where Rough Greens comes in. Just sprinkle it on top of whatever you're already feeding them. It's packed with live probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, and over 20 live vitamins and minerals, all natural and made in the USA. Thousands of dog owners are watching their pets transform. More energy, shinier coat, better mobility, and your dog could be next. Take the Rough Greens 90-day challenge. Give us 90 days and we'll give you a healthier dog, guaranteed. Get a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. Use discount code USA. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code USA. Rough Greens. So good, your dog will ask for it by name.
From ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. The head of Homeland Security threatening to pull money and charge election officials if states don't cooperate with President Trump's demand that they investigate voters. Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen saying DHS has identified more than 250,000 potential non-citizens illegally registered to vote in 4 states. ABC News Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas reports.
They've yet to describe their methodology in terms of how they came up with this information and whether they were able to basically talk to the state officials in those locations to see if the information matches up.
California's Secretary of State says that they will review these DHS claims. California Senator Alex Padilla calls DHS actions a disgusting abuse of power. A ransomware attack on Coca-Cola's dairy company has led to a shutdown on production at Fairlife Dairy based in Chicago, which produces a range of lactose-free products. A plea to American governors from Ontario Premier Doug Ford.
If you have additional water bombers you aren't using, if you have any wildfire firefighters that you can spare, would be forever grateful.
Close to 900 fires are still burning across Canada, smoke pouring across much of the continent, leading FIFA to monitor the air over New Jersey for Sunday's World Cup final. Big escalation of the Iran war today. The U.S. targeting civilian infrastructure, hitting bridges and a major railway station in Iran. ABC's Patrick Reevell at the Foreign Desk in London.
In response, we've seen Iran escalating its attacks on regional U.S. allies, targeting Jordan, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait. Kuwait saying that Iran targeted and hit and caused significant damage to a power and water desalinization plant.
Iran also saying it struck inside Syria for the first time during this war. All this pushing oil even higher today. Brent crude close to $88 a barrel. You're listening to ABC News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments. Just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
These days, heading back to school means more than pencils and notebooks. It means laptops, tablets, online accounts, and a lot of personal information moving across the internet. WebRoot Total Protection gives families powerful online defense tools with antivirus, VPN, cloud backup, identity protection, and more, helping keep your digital life secure throughout the school year and beyond. Go to webroot.com/radio and get 60% off today. That's webroot.com/radio for 60% off. Live a better digital life with WebRoot, because peace of mind shouldn't be optional.
The UK has a PM in waiting.
What a moment. And what backing you've given me.
Andy Burnham, elected leader of Britain's governing Labour Party today, soon to become the 7th Prime Minister in a decade.
In a recent interview, he said that he would not be afraid to stand up to Donald Trump, while at the same time respecting the office of the president, and of course with the U.S. and Europe diverging on some big issues of NATO, Iran, and the war in Ukraine. He is expected to take over the country on Monday, and before that, we know that he will meet with the King, and also Keir Starmer is expected to deliver his final speech as Prime Minister.
ABC's Marcus Moore in London. As smoke fills the mall in D.C., Jason McCall, a tourist from Tennessee, is blowing off the smoke.
It's kind of natural to have wildfires. It's been that way for millions of years, so I have zero concerns. And it's a part of nature's process.
If there's a silver lining to the bad air warnings, maybe it's this. Health officials say people under air quality warnings should not be vacuuming unless the vacuum has a HEPA filter. They also advise you don't fry food or broil food. Don't burn candles or incense. If you have an air conditioner, set it to recirculate. If your AC doesn't have that mode, then turn the AC off. Needless to say, smoking and vaping is out of the question. They say an air quality index around 150 is like smoking a half a pack of cigarettes. I'm Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as big wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments. Just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10.
I'm not voting for the character or the integrity or whatever he may lack. I want closed borders. I want a good economy. I want low crime. I want free speech. Everything that the MAGA platform is, that's what I want for this country. If a politician is your role model and idol, you're probably looking down the wrong avenue, right? Athletes, politicians, entertainers. I tell my daughters, Taylor Swift's not your role model. Your parents should be your role model.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Talk. They hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
When you want the best that there is, when you want the best in the entire biz, there's a name the stations call you sure to like. It's America's host, and his name is Mike
Hello.
Brain, that is.
You've heard him before, and you'll hear him again. Everyone loves him when he hosts on 1210.
Well, hello and happy Friday to you. Friday-luya to you. It's Mike Opelka with you once again. As I said, I am back in some way, shape, or form. And I'm here to kick off our weekend, just following Dom. I was digging Dom's side question today about what are the things about the 60s that are so iconic. And did I tuned in for like the last hour. Did anyone say the moon landing? Did anyone say space travel? Because we really didn't get into human space travel until the 60s. And then we capped it off as Kennedy wanted us to by sending a man to the moon and returning him home safely by the end of that decade. I think that's what he said. DeSantis, you've heard that video. You were too young to have experienced it live. But Kennedy said, I want America to send a man to the moon and return him home safely in this decade. And I had to look up what a decade was. I found it out it was 10 years. So we got it done, even though he wasn't around. It's a good thing. Anyway, happy Friday. Did you watch the show? Did you watch the entire thing? DeSantis, I know you did, because you're like texting me into the night. I'm trying to sleep.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. I apologize. I needed somebody to talk to about the speech, and unfortunately, you were the person I selected.
some sort of mental health support for you.
You won a bad prize. I don't know what to tell you.
Chosen.
I'm thinking, should I hit him with a copay on this? Because kind of holding his hand and walking him through this. I was not knocked out by the speech. I was irritated, aggravated by the reality of just how many people are registered to vote that shouldn't be. And then, more importantly, by how many states refuse to turn over their voter rolls to us. And I think at the crux of all of this, and I know at the end of the speech, the president was saying, hey, there's a call to action. I want you to call your senators and your congressmen, tell them we got to pass the Save America Act. And I don't feel like there was enough understandable motivation to get people to pick up their phone and call in. And I don't know if it's going to happen. I would have maybe use some more visual aids. You know, I always laugh during those congressional hearings when people have these pre-printed posters and they have their little staffers behind them holding up the posters. And you're like, really? Our tax dollars paid for that? Yeah. I think it would have been good for the president to have some graphics with him because these were pretty much cold, hard facts that he was hitting us with. And it was one after another, and you're going, okay, I'm got my pen and paper out. I'm like, I better write this down because I'm going to have to help DeSantis understand this later. And I didn't have a chance to do that. But it was heavy-duty stuff. In case you weren't paying attention to it because maybe you didn't care, I know the news media, the majority of the news media thought you didn't care. ABC, NBC, CBS. ABC and NBC said, no, we're not showing it. CBS said, oh, we'll give you a little bit. We'll cherry pick it, and then we'll go back in and we'll test it to see if we think there's truth in here. And the same thing with CNN. And CNN even pre-bunked it with Brian Stelter yesterday. So it's kind of crazy. But to get it into the most important moments of this brief speech, which I praise the president for brevity, because brevity is the cousin of genius. And I think he was good to keep it brief yesterday. Let's go with Cut 1, talking about what the Department of Homeland Security has revealed.
Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review of state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since Democrat states refuse to share their voter files, the real number is actually much higher than that. Yet, Even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote.
Yeah, 250,000 foreigners legally registered to vote. So that means, since we only got data from, 23 states, there are another 27 states, unless you're a Democrat, then there's another 34 states or 35 states, depending on what Obama said. But that means there are a whole bunch more. And if they're in blue states, the chances are there's even a lot more because they're so lax on the registrations. So that's 278,000 non-citizens registered to vote in federal elections. That means that's 278,000 American votes, if all those people vote, that get canceled, that get invalidated. More than 500,000 votes really declared null, because half of them are illegal and the other half are invalidated because they get canceled out by these votes. It's really wrong. And I have an idea on how to fix this. And I'd love to hear if you have an idea. I think I've got the idea on how to correct this. And yeah, the Save America Act, I think, would be good. Did you hear from Linda Kearns by any chance, Matthew?
I can text her. I wasn't sure if we still wanted her.
Yeah, why not? It gives us a chance to make some Elvis jokes, too. So that's always good. But I'd like to know what she thinks about if he made the case, if he made a prima facie case to get the Save America Act done. But this, I think there is need of a change in our elections. And I have a couple of ideas that I was discussing with people earlier today, and we should get into that. But I think I've come up with the simplest idea, and I will share it with you. But DeSantis, did you have an idea on how we should fix our election integrity problem?
I would say the best bet at this point is probably through the reconciliation process, because it doesn't seem as though there is any pathway to 60 votes in the Senate, and I don't even think there's a pathway to 50 votes to abolish the filibuster and then pass the SAVE Act. So I would say reconciliation process. You're not going to get the whole thing, but you might be able to get a few pieces of it that qualify. Even that's going to be tough, though.
Yeah, but see, I don't think we're getting it. So I don't think
all?
I don't think the Save America Act is going to go through. So I'm looking for a different idea. I'm talking outside of the box. I think we need to think outside of the box, and I've been doing that. And I've been dying for the last 2 hours because this hit me about 1 o'clock today. I'm like, I can't wait to get on the air and share this thought, because I think this is the idea. Now it's probably going to tick people off, but I think I may have come up with something. But you think the Save America Act will fix it? You think that? I'm not sure it will.
I think it'll be a step in the right direction. But again, I'm skeptical as to whether or not even the reconciliation process is possible now, because Tillis came out and said that he's basically just against the SAVE Act entirely now, and he's retiring. And then Cornyn and Cassidy seem to have it in for Trump at this point. You've got McConnell, who's absent, and then Lindsey Graham was chair of the Budget Committee, so that's a problem. I'm not optimistic, but if I had to pick a direction, I would say push for that budget reconciliation process and get as much of it in there as you can.
Well, that would be good if it happened, but I don't think it's going to. I don't want to be a negative Nelly, but I'm just going to lay my cards out here because I think this is the answer. I think we need to zero base all federal elections right now. Now, the problem is states have control over how they handle their elections. But I think if you've got a voter registration card right now, as of right now, it's invalid. I think you go in and you say, okay, 50 states, every state, your voter IDs, your voter rolls, wipe them out. Somebody needs to erase them all. If you want to vote in the election, you got to show up and you have to register to vote. It would be a Herculean-sized task to get it done. But we have a corrupt, dirty system of voter registration. And the only way to deal with this is to just wipe it out, to zero base the whole thing. And I think that's the way to go. because that would give us then a clean slate. We come in with a totally empty list of voters. And it's just like, remember when Doge first started and the president came out and he said, do you know we got a bunch of people that are listed on Social Security that are over 135 years old? Obviously, they aren't alive, but they're still on the records. So we have records from decades and decades ago that have people that are just absolutely non-existent or don't have any business being on those rolls. Whether they're the 278,000 illegals that the president identified yesterday, illegally enrolled in our voting process, or whatever. I'm just saying, I think this is the only way to do it. And then if I am elected to be in charge of elections, if I become the election czar, the other thing I'm mandating is, as soon as possible, no more election season, no more early voting, no more 6 weeks of early voting. No more mail-in ballots just dropped to every single address in the county or wherever they go. We're going back to paper ballots, election day, and maybe if you're in the military serving overseas, if you're an invalid, or if you're a first responder, you can vote absentee. But everybody else, nope. Election day, you show up, paper ballots. We suddenly have something that I've been envious of. The French have 1 day paper ballot, and they count all the votes, and they know who won by the end of the day. 80 million people. Why can't we do it here? Why can't we get it done? It's not that difficult. Is it because, and this is a thought I want to put out there, you know how Eisenhower warned us of the military-industrial complex as he was leaving office? Dwight Eisenhower in his closing letter said, be wary of the influence of the military-industrial complex that will keep us in wars forever. It feels like once we got election technology involved, once we got voting machines linked up across the country, across states and counties, etc., once computers got involved, and there were billions and billions of dollars involved in making that happen, then we lost our integrity. And those people want that money. You think there's not a lot of money? The people that run the Dominion voting machines, somebody brought it up yesterday, and we were talking about what are you watching for tonight? And they said, well, Fox won't cover it. The mentions if Trump brings up the altering of the count of the election through the Dominion voting machines. Well, he didn't bring that up yesterday. That really wasn't any part of any of this. But those people got paid $787 million from Fox alone. So they've got a lot of money. The election machine industry, the election industrial complex is very, very powerful. And so if we're going to go back to paper ballots and we're going to go back to zero basing our database of voters, it's going to shake up a money tree. It's going to cut down a money tree. So people might actually, my life might be in danger as of this point. The big voting might be coming after me, Matt. You might have to offer me safe space in your basement. I'm just saying.
Just don't stand in front of me. Just like a few feet away, just to be on the safe
side.
Thanks.
You're not going to do the Kevin Costner bodyguard thing for me? You're not going to jump in front of the bullet? No! Just diving in front of a bullet. Yeah, no, I really think that there is a lot to be said for following the money on this. And if we look at the money, it's significant. There's huge money involved. Just how many times do we print ballots that go out via mail? And then there's the machines that process the ballot. You've seen the shots of the rooms of people. Like in California alone, just for the mayor's race, how many weeks of counting mail-in ballots did we have with rooms full of people that open the envelope, that have to verify it, then run it through the machine? It is a gigantic, expensive process. It doesn't have to be that way. It shouldn't have to be that way. It should be pretty damn simple. You show up on election day, you vote, and it's done. I would even be interested in incentivizing it. Everybody who votes on election day has a shot at winning $50 million. We're gonna do a national election lottery. We'll take $100 million that we will save from only having elections on one day. I know I'm spitballing here, but just roll with me. We take $100 million and we do a $50 million national prize. One voter's going to win $50 million. And then we give $1 million to every state so that in every state there could be a single winner as well for $1 million. We would have 50 new millionaires and maybe one new 50 millionaire in the country. And it's a random drawing, and you only get it if you voted, and you voted on Election Day. Who's with me? Anybody? Nobody? Maybe not. Maybe we should put a poll up in the YouTube chat. I would love to see that. Do you think that we should return to Election Day and paper ballots? Yay or nay? Election Day and paper ballots, yay or nay? That's what I would say. That's the way, in my opinion, that's the way to do this. That's the way to fix it. The president talked as well about the China thing, and we got to talk about China as well. If we can get to cut number 2, the president talking about the Chinese government paying U.S. journalists to write negatively about him.
The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. president and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him, as many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted me to lose is because they knew I was wise to them, charged them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and built the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. These are exact quotes from the CIA reporting. The name of the person doing the quote is now under review.
I would like to see somebody arrested. You know, I read our friend Mary Walter posted, if no one is arrested, that she wrote that she's never voting again. Now, I think I told her, yes, she is, because I think she's just being dramatic. But I think we're all frustrated. We all see what the president said last night. And now as the documents are rolling out, we're seeing some serious support from internal investigations. There are emails that show there was, in fact, the deep state involved in trying to massage the president's daily briefing so that President Trump wasn't told about all of the attempts to mess with our elections, that anybody would withhold information from the president's daily briefing. It goes back to Peter Strzok and what's her name, Lisa Page, the two lovers that were trying to come up with an insurance policy to make sure Donald Trump did not win the 2016 election. This another example of the deep state. Well, if nobody goes to jail, if nobody loses their job, if no one is prosecuted, even if we get, as Rich Zioli likes to say, the process is the penalty. If they have to hire a lawyer to defend themselves, they lose their pension. That would be something. Something. And the reporters who supposedly were paid money by the Chinese government to report negative things, can we get that list? Can we please see that list? I would love to have that happen. I think that would be a big stinking deal. Okay, it's a little venting about it. I really thought the speech was very serious, very informative, but I needed a little more sizzle with my steak. I wanted some visual aids to walk the average person through it. The only good news is we can now share the real story. We can interpret it because the left side of the mainstream media blocked so many people from seeing what's going on. But the oddest part about it was how many of the people on the left side of the media lied about it. Do you have the Gavin Newsom clip handy, DeSantis?
I do not. I'll have it when we get back, though.
We should talk about that because I know just around the corner we're going to talk to Jason Sneed about election integrity. He knows a little bit about that as the executive director of Honest Election Project Action, which I hope we can get into this. The greasy governor of California who thinks he is the leading candidate ahead of AOC. He's not. For the Democrats, immediately went out to his backyard after the speech was finished and said a bunch of Bravo Sierra that we'll cover. Also, I know, I think it was in the news. We heard the news report that they apparently, the CDC and everybody investigated, has found the source of the explosive diarrhea that's spreading around the country, and it's lettuce. It's lettuce, and we heard early this morning Taco Bell is pulling lettuce from its menus around the country in many, many locations around the country.
Taylor Farms is the producer of the lettuce, to be specific. Yeah, but Taco Bell, obviously one of their customers.
One of their big clients, but they also sell to Chipotle. They also sell to they sell in retail outlets, I guess, bagged lettuce in Walmart and Target and a Whole Foods, I think, has it. Isn't that their name?
I don't think that's the name. Well, this company also was linked to an E. coli outbreak in 2024.
Really?
Onions specifically, yeah.
Well, now this one, this is the funniest thing to me because we always hear, oh, you got to get more roughage in your diet. You got to get that lettuce in there. You got to get those lettuce and vegetables in there. And for Taco Bell to have this kind of irony occur, where the lettuce is the worst thing that's in the Taco Bell products that you're eating, that they have to pull the lettuce out. That's what was causing the explosive diarrhea. I'm sorry, I didn't see that one coming. That's a little bit of God irony there, a little bit of funny. Anyway, good for the investigators for finding the source. Still kind of bizarre that the majority of the cases are in Michigan, 4,300 cases. Thank God nobody has died. No one has been killed by this, by killer lettuce. And let's hope it's straightened out soon. Everybody get back to having a salad because we as a nation need a salad. I'm taking a break. You want to join the conversation, you can, of course. 855-839-1210. As I said, Jason Sneed just around the corner. We'll talk more about Trump's speech, election integrity. I'll bounce my idea off him. Guy Shiraki is joining us at 5 o'clock. I'm excited about Coach Guy. He's got a couple of new pieces out there just terrific. We'll talk to Lauren Fix, the car coach, in the last half hour of the show. And the main Senate race had the most interesting debate last night with the craziest candidates. And I suggest you get on the YouTube channel so you can see it, because it is just flat out fun and stupid at the same time. And the best entertainment I've seen from a debate in decades. We'll get into all of it. It's Mike Opelka with you here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
When it comes to avoiding roofing problems this summer, go with the real deal. Impriano Roofing, Siding, Windows, and Doors. Family owned and operated for over 50 years. One of the only roofing companies still run by the original family. They're the experts in the industry, no comparison. And Jack Impriano stands behind every job 100%. Experience, integrity, that's the real deal. Call 610-644-4444 for your free estimate today. The best homes have an Impriano roof.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to Supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At Supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Lemonade! Fresh squeezed lemonade! Lemonade? Oh, nuts.
Is your business struggling to be seen? Not reaching the right customers?
Yeah.
Odyssey's here to help. Your one-stop shop for digital marketing.
Wait, really?
With targeted digital media, plus SEO, SEM, social, OTT, and more, we help your business reach the right audience and drive results.
Whoa, hey, one at a time.
Stop missing out on valuable customers. Visit digitallocalads.com to learn more about our local advertising solutions. That's digitallocalads.com.
Okay, people, line starts here.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Lendseek.
Uber is reportedly pausing its ambitious European expansion plans for its Uber Eats food delivery business. The Financial Times reports that Uber has suspended market launches for Uber Eats in 5 of the 7 countries it had planned on for 2026, including Austria, Greece, and Norway. The report says Uber will instead focus on its recent openings in Denmark and Finland, which have gotten off to strong starts. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at Progressive.com.
Now back to the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
It is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Mike Opelka with you. I'm so happy to be here, and I love the fact that it's Friday. And I see the calls are lining up. We're going to get to our calls, so please be patient. Hang with me. We're also going to have some fun today because it is Friday. And I know I try to have fun all the time. I really do. Because to quote Arthur in that great biopic about Arthur, fun is the best thing to have. And it is biopic, is it not, DeSantis? You know, these biographical pictures that we now have created, this portmanteau name for them. It's biopic, right?
I say biopic, but I hear a lot of people saying biopic.
See, I think that's wrong.
I agree with you.
I think that's an egregious mispronunciation. So, Nick Hale, if you're listening as you're returning from the back 9 on the golf course on this sweltering afternoon, it's not biopic, it's biopic. It's also not pinning, it's pining. When you crave something, you pine for it, you don't pin for it. I know, I'm being the grammar police. My wife would tell me that's rude. But we'll just let that sit there. But today, because Democrats say dumb things all the time, we're going to have some fun.
Yes, they were actually elected, but when it's least expected, Democrats say the darndest things.
They do, and they say them all week long, and we will share some of the highlights of Democrats saying the darndest things this week later in the show. So don't go anywhere, and you can join us at 855-839-1210. But the topic of the moment is election integrity. On the heels of the president's address last night, there are questions galore, and I do think this could be a unifying issue for people on both sides of the aisle, but the Trump derangement syndrome is so strong, it seems to be blocking any hope for Democrats to get involved. And so we have to lead with enough information and enough ideas to help make our elections honest again. And that's why we reached out to Jason Sneed of the Honest Elections Project. And he's here, Honest Elections Project Action. Jason, thanks for making time. Welcome.
It's great to be with you. Thanks for having me on.
We appreciate it. The push to make our elections, I guess, respected again, which, all of us have doubts about it. I'm a kid who grew up in Chicago where, you were told it's election day, vote early and often. We had jokes about cemeteries that had a higher registered count than most apartment buildings. So there's always been a little bit of skepticism in my heart about election integrity. And I'm a guy who says I think we need to go back to one day voting paper ballots and let's get it done. Is that even feasible in your opinion, Jason?
Well, I think that we certainly have a long way to go from where we are to that particular outcome. And I think that states have their work cut out for them. I think that what the American people want more than anything is an election system that they can trust, an election system that delivers them results on election night so that we can all go to bed knowing who won and we can wake up and move on with our lives, and then an election system that delivers legitimacy. And one of the problems that we see too often is that on the left, they think that you get legitimacy just by winning. And it doesn't matter how you win. It doesn't matter how many rules you have to break or rewrite, how many safeguards you have to gut. They really just care about winning. And that's not the way that the average American thinks about these issues. That's not the way that a democratic system like ours is supposed to function. We're supposed to have rules. We're supposed to have safeguards. And guess what? You don't just have a right to vote. You also have a right to vote in a free and fair election that makes sure that fraudulent ballots are being prevented so that your voice is actually heard and that only citizens are deciding these elections. So we have a lot of work to do, but I think it's all pretty common sense when you actually get right down to the brass tacks.
I think you're right. And common sense, and this is one of the things we're going to talk with our friend Guy Shiraki about later, because we are the two of the guys that say we need common sense everywhere we go. But how do we get common sense into the equation here, the election equation, when it seems like the answer is to just throw more money at the process? This is why, Jason, I think zero basing everything. Is it nuts for me to suggest we wipe out all the voter rolls in the country and start from zero and make everybody who wants to vote? You got a year to register, so that in 2028 we can have the first election with the all-new voter registrations in this country? Am I nuts?
Well, I think that there's maybe a couple of other steps that we might want to consider doing first, like getting the Save America Act across the finish line so that we can have mandatory voter identification, photo ID requirements to vote in this country, and proof of citizenship requirements so that we make sure that when people are registering to vote, they actually have to demonstrate that they're a citizen of the United States. I think that those are some pretty common sense positions, and I think that those, if we adopted them, would go a long way towards restoring confidence, as well as helping to make sure that anybody who's on an existing voter roll has their records verified. And that's actually something that the Trump administration has been working very, very hard, to its credit, to do, is to give states new tools and new data to actually go through and identify ineligible voters and non-citizens. But wouldn't you know, guess what? The League of Women Voters, that supposedly nonpartisan, but as we know, very partisan left-wing group, just went into the courts here in D.C. and shut down the SAVE program that the Trump administration had revitalized and expanded, which was the system that was giving states the access to the data that they needed to actually find non-citizens, and won in front of a federal judge, a far-left judge, a shutdown of that program. So the left is clearly prepared to fight tooth and nail to stop basically every reform, even the most basic ones. And they also, even though they say they want no non-citizen voting and they want clean voter rolls, seem determined to take away every tool that we have to actually find and prevent voter fraud.
See, I'm frustrated by all this you're sharing with me, and it is infuriating. The reality, though, that we're facing, I honestly, I really don't think that we're going to save the Save America Act. I know the president made an impassioned plea last night. I would love to have all those things required of anyone who votes. You have to be a citizen. You have to have a proof of identification of citizenship and eligibility as a voter. I think all of that is a great idea. I just don't think with the divide in the Republican Party, there's enough unity to get it done. You got a bunch of people, and excuse me for using the technical term here, you got a bunch of retiring Republicans who are butthurt over Donald Trump wanting this to happen, who are just standing and saying, no, we're not going to do it. And so it seems like it is a fait accompli that this thing is going to die. So I'm just offering anything that I think we could push forward and get it done. You seem to think there's still hope. And Jason, maybe you could give me a little hope on a Friday. You think there's still a shot to get the, and I shouldn't say shot in these crazy times. Do you think there's a chance we could get the Save America Act passed?
Well, I think that Republicans are looking for every possible way to get even part of that done. And, one of the things that I think that they're talking about now even is kind of taking it apart and passing it piece by piece or attaching it to must-pass legislation. Every Democrat in the Senate has gone on record, and Chuck Schumer has as well, saying that they're actually okay with voter ID. I think it's time to tell them to put up or shut up and maybe put forward just the voter ID provisions of that bill and then force them to take the vote, which is going to put them on the wrong side of about 90% of the public right now, which thinks that absolutely we should require photo ID to cast a ballot in this country.
I like what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
We've also got all of these state legislatures. And in our constitutional system, while Congress absolutely has a role to play, state legislatures are actually the ones that are the first line of defense for election integrity, and they're the ones that have the first order of authority when it comes to administering elections. And so we need all of our conservative legislatures to also be stepping up to the plate and passing laws that strengthen safeguards in our system, that require proof of citizenship to vote in their state and local elections, and on and on. And those Republican state legislatures have been doing yeoman's work in the last few years, passing really good, really strong bills. But they have a lot of work left ahead of them, and I don't think that we are anywhere near a position where we can take our eye off the ball. Otherwise, I guarantee you the left is going to keep working. They're never going to stop trying to level down on election integrity. They're going to try to get voter ID. They're going to try to bring non-citizen voting into the main. That's why we absolutely need to be fighting at the federal level, and we need to be fighting in our states.
Well, I'm glad somebody like you who will not give up on this. I know I throw my hands in the air and I go, I don't see it. I want to burn the whole thing down and start over. So I'm glad there are cooler heads at the top and out in the street, especially in Washington, D.C. Jason Sneed, the election integrity expert du jour and the executive director of Honest Elections Project Action. You can find him on X with great stuff at Jason W. Sneed. S-N-E-A-D, like the famous golfer from days gone by. Jason, thanks for sharing your brains with us, and please keep up the good fight.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the time today.
Thank you. Stay safe in D.C., please. It's a crazy place. The phones have been bubbling today, so let's do a little phone time here. I know you're going to be upset we're not going to get to talk to him, but Mark, someone named Mark called, screamed at the top of his lungs and said everyone on the station is crazy, and then hung up. Kind of hard to argue with that kind of logic, is it not?
Mark was a delight, and I was sorry to see him go.
I am too. I really would have welcomed him here on a Friday. But let's talk to some human beings, not people who've been dropped in from outer space. Jim is in Haddonfield, New Jersey. Jim, welcome to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. What's on your mind, Jimmy?
Michael, 3 quick things. But number one, I have to congratulate you. I called you yesterday to tell me how you thought Fox was going to handle the speech last night, and you could not have been more right. Their standards department must have come down so hard on them because last night, after the speech, it was hard. Not only was it hardly talked about, but they had one disclaimer after another regarding almost everything that Trump said regarding the election. And this morning on Fox and Friends and throughout the day, it wasn't the lead story. It wasn't the second story. It was as if they were afraid to say anything.
I don't know if they're afraid to say anything, but sometimes there is no value in saying anything. If your point has been made, Jim, you know that people will be tuning in to see how you react because that's just the way the media is. For example, I watched Morning Joe today in order to see Mika and Joe melt down because that's what they do. And so I was kind of hate watching. So you know there were a bunch of people hate watching Fox last night and this morning to see if there was any either butt kissing or advancing of the Trump agenda. And I don't think it needed to be done. So you have an opportunity then to press on some other issues, which is also what probably happened as well. So, but I had experience from being inside the machine before. I knew what was going to come down.
Well, you were so right. Real quick, 2 things. Number one, I don't understand why John Radcliffe and Rubio are still working for Trump because John Radcliffe was the DNI back in his first administration and Rubio was the head of Senate Intelligence. And I was so confused because Trump kept saying that the Intelligence Department kept things regarding China away from him and away from his president's daily brief. But am I missing something here? Wasn't John Radcliffe head of this? And if so, why is he still with him?
But the rank and file may have been the ones he's referring to. If you look at the, I looked at some of the documents. This wasn't Radcliffe. This wasn't the Senate committee. This was rank and file inside the swamp that were saying that they were massaging the president's daily briefing. And I think Rubio is probably just as angry as Trump is because they were being misled, if you will. So, yeah, and I also think Marco Rubio wants to be president. So he's probably going to try and stay in the halo of Donald Trump for quite some time because he's got a pretty good chance of accomplishing that, at least after the speech he gave the other day. But thank you, Jim. I got to keep rocking and rolling. Have yourself a great weekend, sir. Thank you for being there. One of my favorites. Why not wrap up this call segment with our friend Terry from Moorestown? Hello, my friend. Happy to see you on my call screen.
Hey, Mike. How are you doing? So glad you're back on the air. We missed you. It's been too long. So looking forward to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well.
Me too. Thank you. Yeah. I'm glad to be here. It was too darn long. And even Justin and DeSantis said, hey, we're happy you're back.
Good. That's wonderful. Well, I wanted to put my 2 cents in about Trump's speech last night. Now, I will admit, I did not hear it. I was out of the house, didn't get home till 20 after 9, so I just missed it. But I heard an interview with John Solomon this morning.
Yes.
Sorry, it's on another station. Sorry.
That's all right.
And he was very thorough. I didn't realize, my goodness, this is the first time that a president has ever let a journalist go in to help his people find the stuff. Apparently, Solomon got 1 page back in April, and he found out since that time there was a lot more stuff about this subject. Trump found out and told him to come to the White House, and he let him in. And so the guys in, I guess it's the FBI, CIA, whoever, I don't know the answer to that, but they found all these things, amazing. And the idea that the Chinese has 220 million They know that much about us. I mean,
oh, yeah.
This is not a spit thing. This is big time. Between that and the birthright thing with them coming in and with all the fraud going on, the southern border, we got to start watching out for this future of our country. It's not good. And I agree with what you're saying about the 1 day, 1 vote. I agree 100%. We need to get back to that. Definitely.
Terry, if you were listening yesterday and you heard Dr. Victoria Coates talk, we are not talking enough about the threat that China, on many levels, is getting ready to open up on us. The Confucius Institutes that are at every major university in the country, the infiltration through domestic spying and all the technology with all the cameras that feed back to China. And I don't even want to talk about TikTok because it was for years feeding. China knows more about American citizens than we would ever hope that they would know, not just the 220 million that they got there. So, and
but
as far as
there's got to be some people charged with treason that are in the background of this government, and not the people we elect. I don't think it's them either, as you said before. It's not Rubio. It is the people that were behind them back in the last administrations, and they need to be found and they need to be put in jail because this is treasonous. That's a betrayal of the faith for this country. It's terrible.
Terry, there is a person who is actually named who talks about, quote, deliberately massaged our one pending presidential daily briefing. Deliberately massaged it to try and hide the intel assets from the president that China was trying to influence the election in favor of Biden. It truly is disgusting, and it is treasonous, and it should be prosecuted. If
they
it's
need to
not,
be brought up on charges, and we can't wait around because no one goes to jail, and I think the people of this country are getting tired of it.
Oh, I think people are very, very tired of it. We're fed up with it. We're tired of this happening. And there was one more thing I was going to bring up. Now I forgot. It slipped out of my my age-addled brain, which is not cooperating.
No. But well, maybe I'll catch up with you end of next week, Wednesday or something. But in the meantime, thank you again for taking my call, and you have a great weekend. You take care.
Always, okay. Terry. Thank you.
God bless you. Okay.
Thank you. God bless. DeSantis, it's 3:53. Should I just take 2 more calls and then wrap up the hour or what?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's take these last 2 calls. We will play a long commercial break, but we'll be all right. We'll make it work.
Okay. Let's go to Robert in Ben Salem. Hey, Robert. Welcome. What's on your mind?
Thanks for taking my call. It's good to talk to you, man.
Of course, brother.
I'm thinking about this filibuster thing, and there's 3 ways a filibuster ends. It either gets closure, they do the nuclear option, or exhaustion. And that third option was what was used when we had the same problem with the Civil Rights Act. Did the majority leader throw his hands up and say, oh, well, we can't pass it? No, he made them do a talking filibuster. And to their credit, the Democrats filibustered the Civil Rights Act for 73 days. And when they got tired of talking, they had to get cloture and have the vote. And that's what I think they should do now. Make these Democrats earn it. Make them get up and see how long they can talk about not wanting to secure our elections in front of the voters. You know,
I support that, Robert, but I think there's a lot of wink on one side to the other, and there isn't enough loyalty to the party agenda on the GOP to force them to do it. It really is infuriating to me. They're just too cozy with each other.
Do you think that'll change now that we're losing McConnell and Tillis and Cassidy and I forget the name of the fourth guy? Those are 4 Thune allies that are leaving the Senate. Do you think that could change with the midterms?
Well, if we lose those seats, guess what? We don't have the midterms. We don't have the Senate control. We don't have the Thune problem because we don't have control of the Senate. I think there's
promise you.
Well,
I promise you that's not going to happen. We're going to keep the Senate.
I hope to God we do, and I'm praying for that. And today it's announced that
each house, Mike.
What's that?
A pizza bet on each house.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like the pizza bet. That's a good one. We'll see as we.
It, Mike,
thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Stay safe. There's good things to talk about. Let's grab one more in here. Phil in Delaware. Hello, Phil. Welcome to Talk Radio 1210.
So then you're saying 3:30?
Hello, Phil? Did we lose Phil? Phil, you're on a different line. That's okay. Phil, come in, Phil. I know there was an asteroid that hit in New Jersey. I was just reading about this 2 years ago. And a meteorite crashed through a roof in Hillsborough, New Jersey. It was 2 years ago. We just got the report yesterday about what was inside this, and apparently it is. You probably were on the air at the time, DeSantis, with Zioli, when the meteor caused a sonic boom as it passed just south of the Statue of Liberty and then slammed into a house in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Does that ring a bell?
I don't remember that story at all. However, I have been reading about these new revelations as to what the meteorite consisted of, and it's incredibly interesting. Prebiotic molecules and other building blocks of life.
Prebiotic molecules. And did they say how much it's worth? Because, if it lands on your property, you're allowed to sell it.
Oh, is that true? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. This stuff goes for big money. Big money. So, just keep your eyes out and wear a helmet when you're outside. Crazy. I have to take a break because we kind of went off the rails and just flushed the format in the first hour. So much to get to in the second hour, including the main debate for the remaining candidates to fill Graham Plattner's vacant seat to run against Susan Collins. It's just too much fun. We will have a lot of fun. It's Mike Opelka. It's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
You take care of your dog out of love and responsibility. But what if every scoop that you're feeding them is slowly making them sicker? Not because you're a bad pet owner, but because the pet food industry never told you the truth. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Blank, Amazon #1 best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. Dog food is dead food, stripped of every live nutrient that your dog needs. That's where Rough Greens comes in. Just sprinkle it on top of whatever you're already feeding them. It's packed with live probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, and over 20 live vitamins and minerals, all natural and made in the USA. Thousands of dog owners are watching their pets transform. More energy, shinier coat, better mobility, and your dog could be next. Take the Rough Greens 90-day challenge. Give us 90 days and we'll give you a healthier dog, guaranteed. Get a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. Use discount code USA. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code USA. Rough Greens. So good, your dog will ask for it by name.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 800-250-250. Say Mike Rowe and let the savings begin.
You don't need another opinion, just the facts.
What caused that crash on the Schuylkill? Will it rain before the kids' game? What happened at the school board meeting last night?
At KYW News Radio, we don't take sides. We take notes, delivering the information you need to make the best decisions for your family.
The news you need whenever you need it.
Depend on KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news leader for more than 60 years.
This is the sound of Lucy, staying on top of her spending. You see, even though she's buying a new pair of jeans, she knows that it fits within her monthly budget. Because Wells Fargo will send an alert if her balance drops below her set amount. Yep, nothing gets past Lucy, or Wells Fargo for that matter. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Ready, set, summer with the Honda Summer Event. With impressive efficiency, sleek exterior styling, and sport-tuned suspension. The Honda Civic and HR-V have all you need to get summer ready with the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Shop Piazza Honda of Philadelphia, Langhorne, Pottstown, Reading, or Springfield today.
See dealer for financing details. Based on EPA estimate of 2024 large full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy. EPA Automotive Trends Report 2025.
If your water heater doesn't say Bradford White, you're missing out. Our products work harder, longer, and more efficiently. Every tank is manufactured right here in America using the finest components from around the world. Only available through trusted wholesale distributors and installed by pros, not DIY. We're professional grade from start to finish. When it comes to water heaters, leave it to the professionals. Bradford White, built to be the best.
Life doesn't slow down, and planning your financial future can feel overwhelming. That's where Monastra Financial Group comes in. Whether you're preparing for retirement, managing a 401k, or protecting what matters most, their team offers personalized guidance built around you. With a straightforward approach, they help turn complex decisions into clear, confident steps forward. Take control of your financial future today. Text Mike Monastra at 484-471-4879. That's 484-471-4879.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
Your local volunteer fire department routinely answers the call, whether it be a fire, traffic accident, or a cat stuck in a tree. But because of declines in memberships, departments have become understaffed. Your local volunteer fire department desperately needs you. Can you direct traffic, install a smoke alarm, help at a fundraiser? No matter what skills you have, you can make a difference. You don't have to fight fire to be a volunteer. Will you answer the call? For more information on how you can help, visit the Volunteer Firefighter Alliance at supportvfa.org.
What if being in recovery from a mental or substance use disorder was something we proudly showed the world? Millions of people are in recovery, sharing hope and support with family, friends, and community. Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
If you want to drink, that's your business. If you want to stop, that's our business. We can help. Find Alcoholics Anonymous at AA.org.
WPHT, WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
All right, let's give it a shot. We worked all week, the sun rose slow. Coffee calls and all that flow. But now we're here, the weekend's near. Friday, hallelujah, loud and clear. So lift your voice, the week is done. You stay with us, we've had our fun. With every cheer, we sing as one. Friday, hallelujah.
Brothers and sisters, put your hands on the radio and give me a big Friday hallelujah to you. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Newman Price. I love that. It's Mike Opelka with you on Talk Radio 1210. Yes, we celebrate the weekends, even if there's a whole bunch of weird stuff going on. I almost said something other than stuff, but the words, I caught the words as they were just coming out of my mouth and shoved them right back in. We got lucky. A whole bunch of stuff happening, and I mean that. We talked about the president's address last night and the reaction from the mainstream media, which is very bizarre to me. The president just wants election integrity, but what are CNN and MSNBC already turning it around to be? Oh, they say it's he's going to rig the midterms. He's going to steal the election. Really? That's, again, they point a finger at you. There's three pointing right back at them. One of the earliest reactions was Gavin Newsom, the California governor and alleged 2028 Democrat candidate for the presidency. And Newsom couldn't wait until Trump finished his address last night and ran out into his backyard. He put on some casual clothes first. He put on like a T-shirt and a hat, and he went out in the Newsom backyard and held his phone up and did a little slam to President Trump. If you got it, roll it.
Well, the only thing missing tonight in Donald Trump's speech was tinfoil. This was a legitimate 25th Amendment moment. The ramblings of a mad king. Don't get me wrong. Foreign interference in our elections, that's a real thing. Nothing about what you watched tonight, though, was real. It's make-believe. He wants to rig the election in 2026. He knows he's going to lose. He needs to rig the election before one vote was cast. That's what that whole thing was about tonight. This is a serious and profound moment where we can either fall prey to cynicism, fear, and anxiety, or we can step up and step in, mobilize, organize, not agonize, and turn out in record numbers this November and end Donald Trump's presidency as we know it. We can do that together.
Well, I would prefer we didn't. But, you know, the weird part of this is because ABC and NBC and MS-13 Now and CNN and CBS all chose not to really show the president's address, but to cherry pick it and spin it. The majority of Democrats probably didn't watch the address, even though it was about 25 minutes. And it wouldn't have taken that much of your life to actually sit down and watch it, but they're not seeking it out on YouTube. We're hearing the YouTube numbers aren't that impressive at all. So with that said, all of the Democrats who want to tell you what the president talked about, they're going to get preference over everybody else who actually watched it. The Democrats who like Newsom are out there saying, oh, here's what was said, that Trump was spinning lies and saying he's going to take over the election. What did President Trump say? He talked about the Chinese interference. And just in case you didn't remember it, cut 3, please, President Trump on what China is trying to do.
But it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020
yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden. Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefings I would get almost every day. Everything was kept out that was of importance. One email among intelligence analysts admitted that they had, quote, deliberately massaged the presidential daily briefing to withhold information regarding Chinese activities related to the election. Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press. Other officials who witnessed such efforts perceived the motivations to be blatantly political. Recently, we found significant numbers of burn bags in formation, and this is a group of bags that were used to destroy information given by President Barack Hussein Obama to be burned. It was supposed to be burned. These bags were supposed to be at a different level by different people, incinerated and checked, but it never happened. Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that were supposed to burn the bags. But the findings are stunning. Today, I'm asking the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people.
So my question is, did we not hear about the burn bags about the second month of the first year of this president's term? DeSantis, I think we were in D.C. talking to Kash Patel, and the burn bags were a topic that they had said they had found burn bags when Dan Bongino was still in the administration, that burn bags had been actually found inside some of the FBI offices in like a closet. And why don't we know the contents of the burn bags? Why can't we see the contents of the burn bags? And if the people who said they were massaging the information in the president's daily brief to make sure that the China attack on our democracy was covered up, that's crazy. That's crazy. And the entire focus of this yesterday was just to get the Save America Act passed. And that's dubious, in my opinion. I'm dubious of the chances of the Save America Act getting passed. We'll see. If you have a thought on it, you're welcome to share your thoughts. 855-839-1210. We have a lot to get to today. I think Linda Kearns may check in with us to explain to me why the Save America Act, once again, because she's done it before, and I just didn't agree with her, why the Save America Act is a bad idea. And Susie Cool, our old friend Susie Cool, who listens to this radio station in a lot of day parts, is in agreement with me about zero-basing everything, about getting us all the way back to nobody's registered to vote, everyone's got to show up, and you got a year to get it done. So that 2028, there can be no questions. I think 2026 is a lost cause. But let's see if we can get national elections with great integrity. 1 day of voting, paper ballots, counted by the end of the day, and we'll have the answer. That's my dream. In the meantime, they are working on figuring out what the hell they're going to do now that the nipple Nazi is gone from the Democrat ticket in Maine. And you're probably saying, why do we here in Philadelphia give a rat's butt about the Maine Senate seat? Well, if they somehow come up with a good candidate, the Democrats could win that seat from Susan Collins. She's not exactly the biggest fan of Donald Trump, but she has voted more reliably than a Democrat would and a Democrat socialist would. In fact, just to give you an idea of some of the madness of the Democrat socialists, the Democrat socialists really are crazy people. This is not a clip that you have, DeSantis. This is a little montage that I grabbed of some of the things that Democrats, socialists are saying, and then we're going to get to some of the candidates in Maine.
The Senate is a very undemocratic institution.
So would you like to abolish the Senate?
That's part of our platform, and we don't think that's extreme.
It sounds so radical, like abolish the Senate, abolish the Supreme Court, like et cetera, but it's not. Everybody sees that, like, that Trump is super evil. I mean, every president since the founding of the country has been super evil, but somehow we have like one that is even more evil.
Whenever people are like, oh my God, they want to get rid of the president, I was like, well, I don't know what we would call it in the future. We could call it the head honcho of whatever, you know?
So they want to get rid of the Senate. They want to get rid of the president and replace the president with somebody else. What was that?
I don't know what we would call it in the future. We could call it the head honcho of whatever, you know?
Yeah, these people are nuts. And if they get control, they will certainly cause more damage than any possible good they can do. Before I get to the situation with the candidates in Maine, Joe is calling from Columbus. We have to talk to Joe. Hello, Joe. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Mike. Happy belated birthday, sir.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I'm one of those people that doesn't celebrate birthdays, but that's okay.
Now, we all celebrated that with you, and you know it.
Well, thank you for doing that. That's very kind of you. But what's up?
Mike, I would like to critique your poll a little bit. And I would like to also tell you, along with that, my mom was superintendent of elections for years in Mercer County, Trenton.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, she was into retirement for at least 18 years when they came out with those Dominion voting machines. And she basically came out of an employment coma to say, they're going to cheat. They're going to cheat. And I didn't understand what she was saying at the time. But lo and behold, we knew what we knew thereafter. But with that said, it seemed like you skipped a step. I participated in your poll, but it seems like you skipped a step. I would like to know what you think what was so wrong with those old manual flip switch voting machines that were tabulated well before 12 o'clock midnight.
Well, the old tabulation machines, the ones where you'd step inside, you pull that lever, and the curtain would close behind you. Then you would hit the lever for your candidate on the panel, and a little counter like the old style umpires would hit the clicker on there while they're counting balls and strikes. Those things would be on the back. Back in the 60s, there was an actual report that Richard Nixon didn't want those in the election because he thought that people in Chicago were going in behind the machines and changing them. So you could find problems with everything.
Well,
I just feel like we got to zero base it, Joe, to go back to the beginning and start with I want to till the ground, just wipe everything out, come in with new tilled soil and plant fresh new voters.
It just sounds a little too much antiquated, not for me, but for anybody who's going to critique it. Oh, yeah, we're going to go back to the Stone Age. Because my problem with the critique on those manual voting machines was one stupid little hanging Chad in Florida, back in, and that's an anomaly. That's all that was. Otherwise, I really thought they were foolproof if you had the right election coverage between a Democrat and a Republican in each poll.
Well, that is one of the things that Linda Kearns has been so deeply involved in, and I'm glad she's a friend on our side. So Linda has been trying to get people on the conservative side of things to actually be involved in the election process to make sure that nothing is hijacked. And she worked her tail off the last two elections to make sure we had enough people staffing those outlets. So I'm just saying there is opportunity to make mistakes with those machines, especially the electronic ones. But even with these manual tabulators, but I just think I would love us to go back to paper ballots, same day voting, and end the election season. It just seems like there's just too much that can go wrong and happen. Terrible stuff, as we know.
I could see, somebody like Gavin Newsom going in his backyard, looking like he did the last night, saying, "Oh, they want to send us back to the dark ages."
Well, all you got to do is point to France. If those are the dark ages, France has 80 million people voting in one day, and they know the answer before they go to bed at night. And it's kind of an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Or let's point to Florida, which seems to be able to get it done in one day, and they've got as many voters.
That's what everyone should want by the end of Tuesday voting day. You're right.
Yeah, it should be voting day. It should happen. Election day happens one day. It's not a season, and that means the campaigns won't be forever. I guarantee you, the day after the midterms in 3.5 months, we will begin the next presidential election. The day after, that's what's going to happen. But thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro. Let's grab one more caller here. Then I got to continue on this pace. We got to have some fun with these crazy people. These crazy people up in Maine. Jay in Pennsylvania. Hello, Jay.
Hey, Michael. How are you this afternoon?
I'm good, sir. Are you here for the civics lesson?
Yes, partially. I'm always willing to learn, and
no, I thought you were
willing to share what I learned.
I thought you were giving me one.
Well, exactly. That's why I'm here to share what I learned.
Okay.
I heard you use a word today to describe our system of government. I heard you use the word democracy. Some people like to refer to that as a distinction without a difference, but it isn't. Zioli was on this morning on the Kale Show, and he actually implored that we stop using the word that we are a democracy. The president said it last night. You said it today. We're not. We're falling into a trap where democracy is majority rule, and we're falling into that trap. We are by definition, a constitutional republic, representative constitutional republic, where the minority has rights. And in a democracy, as long as the majority speaks, the minority has to shut up. I'm just reiterating a point that I've heard and have learned over time, and want to implore you not to call us a democracy anymore.
Well, I think I talked about the Democrats constantly saying that Trump's a threat to our democracy. I may have used that term too. Yeah. If you want to go, if I whip out my Funkin' Wagnalls here and I look at the word democracy, it is a system of government by the whole population of all eligible members of state, typically through elected representatives. So in the first definition, it doesn't just say a majority of the 50% plus one is what a lot of people point to. To me, that's mob rule. That's not a democratic government. Yes, we are a representational republic, as Franklin said when he was reportedly asked, "What have you given us? A republic if you can keep it," because we do elect representatives to do our bidding, and that is true.
Correct.
Words have meanings. I agree with you, and so I will attempt not to speak so loosely in the future, Jay. I think that's a good point.
Yeah. If you want to put your tinfoil hat on for a minute, it could be the reason that people don't want us using the word republic is because it reminds people of the word Republican, whereas if we use the word democracy, it reminds people of the word Democrat. It might be that simple.
Well, if we were, again, let's go back. I'm whipping out my Funkin' Wagnalls on you again. A republic is a state in which the supreme power is held by the people and their elected representatives. And I think if you said to people, would you like a government that has the power, the supreme power is held by the people and those they choose to represent them, I think most people would say, yeah, that's what I want. And then you say, oh, by the way, that's called a republic. And that's kind of what we have. So if we See, I think if we were to, we're educating people from a backward standpoint. But yeah, the definition of republic, the definition of democracy have gotten twisted in the minds of the people. And the people tend not to have as much education in government and civics as probably you and I had going on. But yeah, words are important, and I will pledge you to be a little more mindful of how you use those words in the future, Jay. But thank you. It's good stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Great show. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you. Having fun here. We did. I played that little montage from the Democrats, Socialists, and DeSantis reminded me that we have a clip from one of the most distasteful. I think that's the correct word that I can use on the radio. One of the most distasteful people in the political scene is a woman named Linda Sarsour. And if you remember that name, she was one of the people who was front and center during the attempts to block Brett Kavanaugh from being confirmed as a Supreme Court justice. Linda Sarsour is one of these people who is funded by the George Soros operations, and she is part of the Democratic Socialists of America. She is not a friend of our country. In fact, she'd like to see the Declaration of Independence replaced.
This is the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. This is quote unquote America's birthday. And the question historically is going to be, what were we doing on the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence? Do we have the audacity to sit around and say that we want to build a document that is our values and our principles and bring millions of Americans around it? And so I see people on the streets. I see mutual aid efforts. I see young people running for office. I see people of color, marginalized people getting up and saying, I'm the leader that I've been waiting for, and seeing people rally around those leaders. And so don't give up hope, folks. There's more to come. We're going to survive this. And some of us are going to be on the fight back, and some of us are going to be on the other side waiting to catch you when we win, because there got to be other people that are going to be building the thing that you're going to come to once we win this fight back, because we will win, my friend. So keep your chin up, your head up. It is the blessed month of Ramadan right now, so I've had a lot of time to reflect on this.
Boo. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan. I think she is all for destroying America. And while she's doing it, I photographed Linda Sarsour in D.C. at the Senate office building when the gang was there protesting, and Pocahontas came out and talked to them and cheered them on, and Sheldon Whitehouse came out as well. And somebody said to me, what's that bag she's wearing? Because I took pictures of it. She had an $1,100 little bag that she was carrying, her wallet or whatever. There was a design like a Chanel bag that she had on. So Linda Sarsour preaching against all of the people that are out there making money, and against the as Bernie would say, the oligarchs. We got to get rid of the oligarchs. But she's sporting a $1,200 bag on her hip. All right, let's go, shall we? Let's go to break, and when we come back, we will visit with the candidates who are attempting to get the seat that Graham Plattner thought he had locked down. The nipple Nazis out. The main Democrats they're not holding a primary. No, that would be too correct to let the people select their representative. So a committee of 600 is going to choose who will replace Graham Plattner that the people chose. So 70% of the voters voted for Graham Plattner, but he's out now because he's a bad guy. So who are they going to pick? We'll introduce just some of the candidates, and they're absolutely crazy. It's Mike Opelka. It's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. Lendseek.com. LendSeek.com.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Get ready to unwrap your best health during the Rescue Natural Supplements Christmas in July sale event with savings up to 73% off. That's right. The season of giving is making a huge summertime comeback with site-wide slash pricing on over 50 research-backed formulas crafted with purity, potency, and real science behind every capsule. From high-intensity omega-3s and doctor-recommended cholesterol balance to mobility, gut health, and even advanced cognitive support, now's the perfect time to take advantage of serious discounts and discover why thousands have trusted Rescue's quality and value for over 40 years. So celebrate Christmas in July with sale prices and save up to 73% off for a limited time. Ordering is easy. Just go to res-q.com or call a Rescue product consultant 800-26-ALIVE. You won't regret giving yourself the gift of finally feeling your best. Again, that's 800-262-5483 or online at res-q.com for up to 73% off today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Uber is reportedly pausing its ambitious European expansion plans for its Uber Eats food delivery business. The Financial Times reports that Uber has suspended market launches for Uber Eats in 5 of the 7 countries it had planned on for 2026, including Austria, Greece, and Norway. The report says Uber will instead focus on its recent openings in Denmark and Finland, which have gotten off to strong starts. I'm Jason Brooks.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. Lendseek.com. LendSeek.com. If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. Lendseek.com. LendSeek.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
You know, there's a real dilemma with playing Elvis Presley music as the bumper music back from break because you don't want to cut off the king. There's just it's just wrong, especially when we have as important a guest waiting to join us. It's Mike Opelka, by the way. Thank you for hanging out with us today on Talk Radio 1210. But in order to welcome our guest, there's really only one way to do this properly.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Linda Kearns.
There she is, the one, the only election warrior, the great lawyer and public servant. Gives of her time endlessly. Linda Kearns is with us. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Opelka, how are you? I actually do not have time to talk to you. I'm going to have to hang up because Ashley from Maine just called, and he is hiring me to be the campaign lawyer for that fiasco of a campaign. So there you go.
I hope you're kidding, or I hope the check is gigantic. Now, Linda Kearns, the people who are watching in the YouTube channel will get to see Ashley Webb, one of the 8 candidates for the replacing Graham Plattner, the nipple Nazi, the accused rapist who dropped out of the race, the Senate race in Maine. But Ashley Webb, when you see Ashley Webb, you can't unsee Ashley Webb. Am I wrong to say it reminds one of Meatloaf if Meatloaf had a trans child?
I mean, you know what, Mike? The sad thing is we should have compassion for someone as confused as that individual is. And, I mean, the whole thing is just sad. But the left won't let you feel compassion. The left wants to say, hey, it's okay if you are a huge masculine-looking man and want to call yourself a woman, and hey, everyone else needs to go along with it, and then show up at a debate stage, speak incoherently, and by the way, wear sneakers. Did you notice the sneakers?
No, I got to admit, I didn't check the footwear. I was just totally thrown off my game by the entire ensemble. There was the wig, the voice, the lovely house frock that he or she was sporting. It was very disturbing to me, and I just kept thinking, I got to bring out Bat Out of Hell and play that tonight on the way home because I'm reminded of Meatloaf. And it was craziness. But I want to get to that. But, Linda, can I ask you, because it's been a burning question, a lot of people are talking about the Save America Act, the president imploring people to pass it. I know you have told me in the past it's a bad idea. Can you give me the Cliff's Notes version of why the Save America Act is a bad idea?
Well, one of the best Cliff Notes version is if you, and when I mean you, I mean just Americans in general, if Americans are so worried about foreign interference in elections, then stop trying to pass sweeping federal legislation about elections, because the reason that it is difficult, if not impossible, to hack our elections is because we are so decentralized. That's our strength. It's very annoying when it's difficult to get a policy, in place for all 50 states, all the counties in every state, every election district, like voter ID. But that is our strength. So I get very nervous when I see the federal government passing sweeping federal laws, because remember, the federal government did that in the 1990s under Bill Clinton. That law was commonly known as the Motor Voter Act. And what that law did was the federal government thought it would be a good idea if every time you show up to get a driver's license, you're offered the opportunity to vote. And the federal government thought that would just be a great idea. Hey, get more people involved. The problem is so many states allow non-citizens to get driver's license. It dumped a lot of non-citizens on the voter rolls, which likely would never have happened had the federal government not gotten involved. And with that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, so do you think it's possible that 278,000 people who are on the voter rolls that the president quoted last night, could that be a byproduct of the motor voter legislation?
Oh, I think it's a byproduct of that. It's a byproduct of Biden expanded that with executive orders saying, hey, every time you walk into a federal agency, any type of federal government, offer the ability for people to vote. And a lot of states do that too, a lot of left-leaning states. So if you go into a federal office or a state office to pay your water bill or get some type of benefits or for child services, you're offered the right to vote. So it's dumping all these people on the voter rolls. And if you're a non-citizen and maybe you don't know the rules and maybe you have a little bit of a language problem, if a government official says, hey, do you want to register to vote? Most people are just going to say yes because they don't know any better. That number that he said, I think he said 270,000 or 275,000, that's scary. That's a scary thought that, oh my heavens, there's 275,000 non-citizens on the voter rolls in America. Hey, that could swing an election. But remember, we have 50 states. So if you divide it by 50 states and you say, all right, well, that's only about 5,000, 6,000 per state. Okay, well, then maybe that can't swing an election because it's not, we have the Electoral College. So if you have non-citizens on states where the delta in the election is much larger, that's not going to swing the election. So then I like that Trump talks about this. I like that he brings these issues to the forefront. I just think that there's better solutions than a federal law like they're proposing.
Your point is taken, but I also stress that the 278,000 who shouldn't be on the voter rolls are from 23 states because we have 27 states that won't cooperate with the request from the federal government for this information. So it very well could be double that or more because blue states have a tendency to have more lax rules when it comes to registering those people. Yeah. So it could be worse.
Yeah, we don't really know where those numbers are. And voting data is something that's incredibly dynamic. Someone who's on the voter rolls today as a non-citizen might be on the voter rolls tomorrow as a citizen because they get naturalized. So they're dynamic numbers. It's very upsetting, and I do think that we need to tighten this up. I mean, this has to happen at the state level, and I don't. The other reason I disagree with the Save America Act is I think that we need to put more of the burden on the government to confirm citizenship, not so much on the voter. I know that if someone asked me to prove that I was a citizen, I could show them my birth certificate. It's in my desk at work. It shows that I was born at Fitzgerald Mercy Hospital in Darby, Pennsylvania. So it shows that I'm a citizen, and I could produce that paperwork right away. Not every voter is going to have that at the tip of their fingers, and the government already has a lot of that information, who's citizen and who's not. So I'd like them to start there. The other thing I'd love for them to do, and I haven't heard anyone say this, is we need to start standardizing our birth certificates, because if I walk into some election office in, Idaho, in some rural county, and show them a birth certificate and say, hey, here, I was born in Pennsylvania, are they going to know whether that's a actual birth certificate?
Well,
maybe
Linda,
we need to standardize these.
Now you're contradicting yourself. You're saying we can't have the elections standardized because of the states' rights, but now you want standardized birth certificates? So now the federal government shouldn't get involved in all births? Where does the 10th Amendment come in here?
I'm just talking about standardizing the paperwork or having something that we can authenticate birth certificates, whether that's each state has to have the ability to, if you give someone your birth certificate, then you can authenticate it with the state, or something to show that, yes, this is a real birth certificate. Because if we're asking people to prove that they're citizens, and I walk into an election office in a small county in a small state, are they really going to be able to say, yes, this is an actual birth certificate? And I think federalizing elections is way different than standardizing birth certificates.
I'm playing devil's advocate with you here just because I found the contradiction.
No, I appreciate it.
Important.
You're right, and that's why these things need to be debated by serious people who have worked in elections and understand it. I just think that debating it on Twitter or X or TikTok is not really the way to go, because it's cute to get a lot of likes and to say, hey, Save America. I mean, this law has a great name, Save America. Hey, sure, I want to save America too. But, is it really going to be effective? And I want it to be effective because you know what, Mike? I don't want a non-citizen voting. And I certainly don't want anyone voting for someone else. So I want us to have voter ID. I am absolutely convinced that it has to be done at the state level, and we got to get these states in compliance.
So, Linda, what about my idea to just zero base it all? We wipe out all voter registration everywhere in the country, and we say, okay, you want to vote in 2028, you have a year to get registered. No one is registered. You have to show an ID that says you're a citizen of the country, or else you won't be able to vote. And nobody's got voter registration that counts. No past voter. We'll just zorch all those files. Am I crazy?
Well, I think you're crazy, but for way different reasons, Mike. I mean, that's
fair point.
That's like, come
okay.
on.
I know.
Not every state has voter registration. I think it's one of the Dakotas that they don't even have registration at all. So, hey, one of the states is already following what you wanted.
But they have more cows than people in that state, so it's a very different kind of a setup.
But still, they do have some voters. But you're saying, hey, let's just wipe this all out and start all over. I don't think the federal government has the ability to tell all the states to wipe out their voter registration systems. No,
they don't.
But
they don't.
I like the thinking, Mike. I like the thinking. I like you saying, hey, we need to make this system better. And so I'm not going to, I think we should, consider all ideas. But then when we sit down to think about how we're going to implement, I think we need to do something that can be implemented, because this is what I fear. 2024 was just a very, very tough year on people like me who were election attorneys. And let's just say the Save America Act does pass. And then I will guarantee you're going to be flooded, and Twitter's going to be flooded, and TikTok's going to be flooded with people saying, hey, the Save America Act says I'm supposed to show an ID, but when I walked into and voted, nobody asked me for ID. That's going to happen all over the place because we don't have poll watchers. We don't have parity in polling places to make sure these laws are getting followed. And a lot of these states, this is going to be what's called an unfunded mandate, and it's going to be difficult to, re-educate everybody. So I think it's going to cause a lot of confusion.
Well, I quoted John Kennedy, pardon me, the Canadian Ash, ASH. I quoted John Kennedy earlier when he talked about going to the moon, and he also talked about we do these things not because they're easy. We do the hard things. And this would be making sure your elections are safe and secure and there's integrity among them is not an easy thing. So instead of saying, oh, it's hard, we got to be able to do something here. I just think it's okay for us to think out of the box and go, and I do believe there is an election industrial complex or an industrial election complex that gets billions of dollars funneled to it to keep the current system afloat, even though it's rampant with opportunity for fraud. Not that there's fraud everywhere, but there's opportunity everywhere you look.
Right, and the left, anytime you propose a common sense reform, they are so afraid that it's going to discourage their voters that it becomes a partisan issue. But if I was in charge of the legislature, or they all of a sudden decided that Linda was the queen of Pennsylvania and she made all the rules, which I think that might actually be a good idea, what I would do is fund electronic poll books for every single county in Pennsylvania, all 67 counties. I would fund them. They kind of look like iPads, but they're like a little thicker. And I would say, okay, I'm going to fund these because the legislature has to fund these proposals. And each poll book is going to have a slot on it, like a credit card slot. And when you go into to vote in your precinct, you have to put your driver's license or your ID in that slot, and that little poll book, that will authenticate whether or not the ID is actually accurate. So then you take the authentication part away from these poll workers who are just sitting there and may not be trained to look at an ID, or maybe, older and can't see the ID, or maybe don't want to challenge their neighbors. So you basically automate it, and then you have voter ID that actually works, because unless their ID shows that they're an actual voter, they don't get to vote on the machine. And if it doesn't work, then they have to go vote on provisional ballot. And there we go. We actually have an effective voter ID law in Pennsylvania. That's if I become queen.
I would support talking about that, not you being queen. I just think that's a very dangerous thing. I think power corrupts, and absolute power, like being a queen, corrupts absolutely. Linda, we've got about 6-7 minutes here. Can we talk about the Maine Senate seat? And did you watch the debate last night with some of these candidates?
No, because I was watching the Trump. I actually watched the Trump speech a couple times because I knew that I would be asked about it today.
Okay.
I watched some clips and then I read some stuff about it. And I mean, are they just scraping the bottom of the barrel up in Maine? What's going on up there?
Well, have you been to Maine? You know, when Stephen King is your most famous resident, and he's not exactly what you would call normal. You know, it's a little freaky. It's beautiful. Maine is some of the most gorgeous real estate in our nation. It's just stunning. But Acadian National Forest, a beautiful place. But the people, they're a little disconnected. They're a little bit different. And so now that Plattner is out, and he was what the Democrats thought was like a central casting thing, because they went after him the way they went after finding AOC, and they failed miserably. Obviously, he doesn't pass the character test and might have a serious criminal problem. We don't know. So here are 8 candidates who show up and say, we want to be considered. But Maine is not holding another primary. Lindsey Graham dies. What does that South Carolina do? They schedule a primary where they'll actually have voting for who will be on the ballot this fall. Maine, they knew this guy was crashing. They instead have a committee of 600 who are going to select from the 8 candidates so far. And I thought, wow, this sounds like what they did with Kamala. So it's really crazy. But should we go, DeSantis, should we go right to the money with Ashley Webb, or do we have time to play a couple others?
Yeah, I'm rooting for Ashley. I'm rooting.
We've got like 5 minutes here, so feel free to play whatever you
Okay, so let's go to Shanna Bellows, who is trying to get the spot. She wants the spot. Now, is she the one who's the Secretary of State in Maine as well, DeSantis?
She is. She's the one that tried to get Trump thrown off the ballot in 2024, the primary ballot, and the Supreme Court.
Let us roll this lady. She is one of the people that apparently scored in the voting to get into this pool of candidates.
I threw Donald Trump off the ballot on January 6th. And then, when Donald Trump came for your voter data, I said, hell no, go jump in the Gulf of Maine.
See, now I bet you Donald Trump wants to change the name of the Gulf of Maine to something else as well. So her bona fides are the fact that she stood up to Trump and pulled him off the ballot. She's so into making sure we have election integrity. She wanted the president of the United States removed from the ballot. So she's a nut job to say.
Well, look. People up there, the Democrats are going to vote for whoever the Democrat candidate is, that goofy person or Ashley or whoever. And then a lot of Republicans will just pull the R for Republican, and then they have to convince those people in the middle, the independents. And maybe that's something that the polling says the people up there want to hear, that I took Trump off the ballot.
I don't think the Mainers are as solid on just going R or D. I think they will actually have a little bit of independence in this. And this lady lost to Collins in 2014, 68% to 31%. So she is one of the people Cal, she says, is favored to get the nominations, but she's terrible. And then there's Troy Jackson, who is endorsed by the Socialists. And he was asked a question on how to reduce the budget deficit.
Are they punking us, Mike? Is Maine punking us?
No. That's the wonderful. Wait, just hold on for Ashley. Let's get to Troy Jackson, the guy who was asked, how do you reduce the budget deficit?
Well, I've definitely been involved in doing a bunch of balanced budgets here in Maine legislature. But if we want to balance the federal budget, the way to do that is to quit giving massive income tax cuts to people like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and start taxing wealthy people. I mean, really wealthy people, like none of us actually know the right way. I mean, this is insane. I mean, we used to have a tax rate that was fair, that wealthy people paid their fair share. Now we're giving tax breaks so that they're not paying anything at all.
Well, you would look at Elon Musk's tax bill and think, oh, my God, he paid a whole bunch of money. 1 year paid more than anyone's ever paid in their life. So these guys don't know. But we're run out of time, so we got to get to Ashley Webb. Ashley Webb is genetically, biologically a male who, standing up there, I thought we were being punked, Linda. DeSantis, where do we go first? Which one do we play for? Oh, we got to play what qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Ashley Webb, what qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books. And then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now. Like,
you're a man in a dress. You're deceiving people and lying to them right now.
Why does Ashley not even try to talk like a woman?
How dare you? How dare you, Linda Kearns? How dare? But wait, that's not the best one. There's one more from Ashley.
We need songwriters in the Senate, and I think you're being discriminatory. We need songwriters in the Senate.
Well, I liked it when Ashley said, "I write my own books." Sure, you do. Well, that would be one. But Ashley did want us to know more about Ashley.
and then with the trans community, like, we're being dehumanized. They say that we want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to use the bathroom. If they want me to use the men's room, I will, but I don't want to be assaulted.
I just want to use the bathroom, Linda. And I'm watching this, and I'm seeing, it looks like Ashley's doing the pee-pee dance. You know, he's kind of going back and forth, standing.
I would see, if I was a moderator, I would have went a little further with those questions. Seriously, that she can really say that somebody assaulted her in the bathroom. She's just making that up, because if I was in a woman's bathroom and I saw her walk in, I would walk out. I wouldn't assault her.
I just want to use the bathroom. That needs to be on the bumper sticker if this is the candidate. Look, I got to hit a break here. Linda Kearns, thank you. Thank you for making time.
I just want to mention, I'm so glad you let me call in, because, you know, I have like a massive crush on Matt DeSantis and Justin. And the fact that I could, you know, spend a little bit of Friday afternoon chatting with those two cuties just made my day.
It was going so well until right now. You were doing so well, Linda. I love you, Linda Kearns. You are the best.
They are amazing. They're cute. I mean, they're the whole package. And I'm jealous that you got to spend a whole show with them.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what that means, but I thank you for being there and tolerating all of our silliness. And you're a great sport for all of it. And I'm glad we could make you happy with the two boys you love so much. Thank you, Linda Kearns. I got to take a break. Just around the corner, Coach Guy joining us, Guy Shiraki in the house. And don't forget, Lauren Fix will be hanging out as well. If you're in the YouTube chat room, thank you. Like, support, subscribe. It's Mike Opelka, Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Well, Lorenzo, the pitch looked good.
Yeah, so green.
USA keeper was decent enough.
Didn't have much to do.
99 minutes.
Not a single goal. Well, Bet365 sure came through, though. I bet $10 and got $150 in bonus bets, just for signing up.
At least someone scored.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
You take care of your dog out of love and responsibility. But what if every scoop that you're feeding them is slowly making them sicker? Not because you're a bad pet owner, but because the pet food industry never told you the truth. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Blank, Amazon #1 best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. Dog food is dead food, stripped of every live nutrient that your dog needs. That's where Rough Greens comes in. Just sprinkle it on top of whatever you're already feeding them. It's packed with live probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, and over 20 live vitamins and minerals, all natural and made in the USA. Thousands of dog owners are watching their pets transform. More energy, shinier coat, better mobility, and your dog could be next. Take the Rough Greens 90-day challenge. Give us 90 days and we'll give you a healthier dog guaranteed. Get a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. Use discount code USA. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code USA. Rough Greens. So good, your dog will ask for it by name.
Hi, this is Dave Barlow from Barlow Buick GMC in Woodbury, New Jersey. Baseball season is heating up, and so are the savings here at Barlow. The All-Star Buick GMC lineup is waiting for you. Leading off, the powerful GMC Sierra, built to knock expectations out of the park and be the MVP of every road trip. Visit Barlow Buick GMC this summer, where honest pricing and dedicated service are always part of the lineup, or shop 24/7 at barlowautogroup.com. Buick, exceptional by design. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hit the road this season to watch the birds. Book your road trip with Fans of Philly. Trips are available now for Nashville, Arizona, Chicago, and London. Travel in style with transportation, a pregame party, and game tickets to enjoy the birds on the road this season with Fans of Philly. The official travel partner of 94 WIP and the Eagles Radio Network. Book now at fansofphilly.com. That's fans with a PH of Philly.com.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. While the sun's out and the summer's in full swing, Kitchen Magic wants to help you fall back in love with your kitchen. They're a family-owned business right in Nazareth, PA since 1979, and for over 45 years, promising high quality and craftsmanship. This summer only, 40% off installation with flexible financing options for every budget. Don't wait for someday. Visit kitchenmagic.com and build something beautiful together. Kitchenmagic.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hi, welcome to Bucks County Estate Traders.
Hi, we need to fill a big space on our wall.
Something that says, wow.
Oh, of course. Our showroom is full of all styles of artwork and decor pieces. And some of our items have even been featured on the big screen and in TV shows.
Oh, that's awesome.
Pretty cool, right? So when you're looking for a stunning piece of art, Bucks County Estate Traders has the selection and variety.
And I see your inventory is online.
Oh, it sure is, along with the size and price, so you can measure the space and browse at your leisure. It's all at buckscountyestatetraders.com.
No! USA is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Here's something you don't hear every day. Employee pricing for everyone. For a limited time only this July, Closet Factory Philadelphia is opening its employee pricing event to everyone. That means incredible savings on custom closets, garages, pantries, home offices, and more. If you've been waiting to organize your home, now's the time. Employee pricing is available this July for a limited time only. Book your free design consultation today at closetfactory.com. That's closetfactory.com.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
My obstructive hypertrophic cardiomyopathy kept me from baseball games with my boys. The stairs were too much. With Camzyos, my symptoms have improved and I can be more active again. Camzyos is a cardiac myosin inhibitor, the first in its class to treat adults with symptomatic OHCM. Camzyos may improve your symptoms and ability to be active, and it reduced obstruction in the heart 4 times more.
In a 30-week study, Camzyos, mavacamten, reduced post-exercise obstruction on average 47 units of pressure versus 10 with placebo. Results may vary. Camzyos may cause serious side effects, including heart failure that can lead to death, a risk that's increased with serious infection, irregular heartbeat, or with certain other medicines. Do not stop, start, or change medicines or dose without telling your doctor. You must have echocardiograms before and during treatment. Seek help for new or worsening heart failure symptoms. Camzyos is only available through a restricted program. Before taking, tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and current or planned pregnancy, as Camzyos may harm your unborn baby.
Visit Camzyos.com or call 1-855-CAMZYOS. Actor Portrayal.
Employee pricing isn't just for employees anymore. For a limited time only this July, everyone saves at Closet Factory Philadelphia. Schedule your free design consultation today at closetfactory.com. That's closetfactory.com.
Make growing your savings part of your summer plans. Open a First Harvest Credit Union 15-month share or IRA certificate and earn 3.75% annual percentage yield. Or choose an 18-month option and earn 3.6% annual percentage yield. Explore all your options at firstharvestcu.com/certificates, including our growth savings and growth checking accounts. Membership restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Children who grow up in poverty are part of a destructive cycle. Childhood poverty creates adult poverty, creates childhood poverty, and on and on. At Child Fund International, we find this unacceptable. So we do all we can. In 25 countries, we are vigorously fighting poverty and improving the lives of over 11 million children and their families. Today's childhood poverty must not become tomorrow's. Learn more at childfund.org.
WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Now, The Drive at 5. 30 minutes of non-stop talk from Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
It up, crank the dial. Mike Opelka is back to make you smile. He's the voice that cuts right through. Back on 1210, Opelka's here for you. The truth has no agenda, and neither does he. So kick back and enjoy the show on WPHT. Mike Opelka's in your town.
I am, and it is the third hour of the program today. Happy to be here, thrilled to be here. I know we have a busy third hour planned on the show today, and I'm happy to announce that if everything works out, I'll be back Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. So keep your eyes peeled for crazy stories this weekend. We will get to everything. Everything. Stay inside if you can. If you have to go out to make preparations, one of the things that I tell everybody, don't chase hydration, overhydrate before you have to go out, because it's nasty outside. And this Canadian ash that is descending upon us, it's really ugly. It makes everything in the air hazy here in North Wilmington, Delaware, where we are in the free speech bunker. So I can hear it in my throat. I was outside earlier today. I was actually breathing it in, going, this is nasty, ugly stuff. So I'm chugging the Gatorade and enjoying it. I have to say hello to a few people before we get Coach Guy in here. Got to say hello to the crew at BMW of Westchester. Now, I know they're part of the Piazza family, and I am not a paid spokesperson. And when I went into the dealership, I didn't tell them I was part of the 1210 family. But I got to tell you, I had a great experience. I ended up with a new pre-owned car. I didn't buy a new car, bought a pre-owned BMW, and again, didn't walk in going, "Hey, I'm Mike Opelka from 1210 WPHT," but I was treated like royalty. So thank you to everybody there who made life a comfortable experience. Car buying is rarely a comfortable experience. So we'll talk with Lauren Fix, the car coach, later this hour about that. I see some of you in the YouTube chat are excited about Lauren joining us. Some of you are excited about Guy Shiraki joining us. So let's get Guy in here. We have him ready to go. DeSantis, have you made the connection yet?
Yep, he is there. He should be able to hear us.
Well, then he's heard me talking about him. Senior fellow at the Commonwealth Foundation, writer for Broad and Liberty, of course, in Rio Claire, Pennsylvania. Our friend Guy Shiraki joining us. Coach, glad you are here today. Welcome.
I am here today and safely inside. No practices today, and our tournament tomorrow was canceled up in Reading. It's
wow.
No time to be outside.
No, and usually Saturday and Sunday are my golf days, and those have been put on the back burner, as it were, right now. So there'll only be golf, me watching the British Open. It's going to be living vicariously through the people who are dealing with the links courses. Coach, before we get into the two great articles you have, I got to ask a couple cultural questions, if I may. And
Fire
DeSantis,
away.
you and Justin are welcome to weigh in on this too. I am a gigantic fan of the self-checkout at the grocery store. I just believe it is nobody packs a grocery bag better than I do. I am a former grocery bagger from my days, in my earliest days of making $1.85 an hour in Chicago as a bagger at the Dominic's grocery store. So I believe that I'm the best one to do this. Are you a self-checkout person at all?
Oh, I live for self-checkout, and I love to bag and fill and make sure that I can get it all in the bag in the cart, and then in the car. It goes from years of packing the car to go to Ocean City, but also my brief stint at UPS and learning how to pack those trucks down at the depot down in South Philly. So yes, I enjoy self-checkout, and I enjoy packing it all up and getting it out. It is one of the only things I enjoy about the shopping experience is the checking out.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, keen on self-checkout on every level. I'm totally there. But there are people that don't like it. DeSantis, where are you on this? You got to weigh in on this.
I mean, I hate human interaction, so of course I love self-checkout.
I know people like I think Nick Cale says he hates it because he feels like he shouldn't have to bag his own groceries and swipe them across the scanner. Justin, are you a self-checkout guy or no?
I'm pretty much the same as DeSantis. I hate human interaction, so I welcome self-checkout.
See, I love that we're four misanthropes here, all in this group. But there was a story out of France this week about a woman who pretended to be blind for 30 years so she wouldn't have to make small talk with people, which is brilliant.
Oh.
It's good stuff. But I asked the question because there is a bill that has been proposed in New York State which would mandate a 10% discount if you use self-checkout. And first of all, I'm offended by it because it's government getting involved in business and pricing. So that's I'm against it from that standpoint. But as a self-checkout advocate, I would be all in. I am totally in if you're giving me 10% additionally off. I think this would be a good thing.
Yeah, but that should be something that Acme or Giant or Wawa that they do as an incentive to move things along, or give Wawa, if you do it, you get a free coffee on your next visit. That's a free promo option for our friends at Wawa if they want to take me up on it. But yeah, sure. Look, the opposite, right? I mean, they charge us, they want us to use automated checkout, and then some places charge you a 3% penalty if you use a credit card. Well, look, and I say to myself, I get it, but to be honest, you want me to use a credit card. In fact, you want me to just tap my phone on your display because you want to do this quickly and you don't want to handle the cash. So, yeah, I'm all for the discounts. I wish they'd give them to us, but I sure as heck, I don't want the state legislature or city council giving me discounts.
True. It's got to be the decision of the retailer. The business should make the choice. And the one thing, if the businesses are listening, I am totally against the arm twisting when you go to checkout that says, by the way, would you like to make a donation to our favorite charity before you leave? And they make a suggestion. And I don't know if you've noticed it at Acme, the $10 donation is right above the cancel button. So if you're in a rush and you miss the cancel button, you instantly hit the $10 donation. It's usually like 1, 2, 10. And on two separate occasions, I have accidentally hit the $10 donation, and then I have to call over the self-checkout monitor, who's never a happy person. I go, excuse me, I accidentally hit $10 donation to the kids with cancer. Can you please remove this? And they look at you like, really? You really can't afford $10?
But it's also because they're related to DeSantis. They want to be there, but part of the reason they oversee the self-checkout is they don't want to talk to people, so that they have to come over to your register and talk to you. They find offensive, and then the $10. See, I have an added barrier, which is all the shopping we do at Acme is based upon an account that my wife set up eons ago. So she actually gets a text telling her. So if I were to do that she would know before I got home, because on those occasions where I stop and like buy a donut because I'm going to be shopping, when I get home, before I even unpack the car, I'm usually greeted with the, "Did you really need that $2 donut?" So,
So you're ratted out by technology? Oh my God.
That's correct. Acme is in cahoots with my wife.
This is too good. This is too good. And I assume you, Guy Shiraki, of all people, are faithful in returning the cart to the cart corral.
Yeah, but I even try to do it where I don't need the cart like I actually am I want the tiny cart or the basket.
Yeah, a little bitty cart, and they stopped using the baskets at the Acme by me because during COVID, people walked out with them and never brought them back.
Oh.
So they have.
Well,
they
we used to do that
never
with the old
returned.
milk cartons. Remember back, for those of us of a certain age, the DeSantis and Justin are going to go to sleep now. But in the old days, when stores got the milk cartons, we would steal the milk cartons because we used them for basketball or different sports. You could stack right, yeah, or put your albums in them. Yes.
Yeah, they're perfect for your records. Yeah, and now
I have no
think
use for a basket.
Never anymore. But now the I think the carts in some of the stores have those monitors. So once they go beyond the borders of the parking lot, the wheels stop working.
Well, back in the day when I delivered the bulletin, I used to use a shopping cart to pick them up, and we all did. And nobody ever asked us where we got these shopping carts, but we just all had shopping carts, and you'd get your 75 newspapers after school and then use that to deliver them. And there was some sort of vast, supermarket newspaper collaboration because we all use the supermarket shopping carts for that. But now Mike, I've hit that age. I don't want stuff. I'm looking to get rid of stuff. I don't want Acme, Target. They don't have to worry about me taking their carts or basket. I don't want stuff. I want to get rid of stuff.
As a matter of fact, my wife and I were counting the plastic bags that we have, the reusable plastic bags that were foisted upon us. I think we're close to 40 at this point, because how many times did you go to the store and you get out of your car and you go, "Dude, I forgot the bags." So you got to buy 2 of the $1 bags, and now they're just everywhere. And I try to make sure that when I'm in Trader Joe's, I use a Wegmans bag. When I'm in Wegmans, I use an Acme bag. When I'm in Acme, I use another Wegmans bag just to piss them off. That's just me.
That's you sticking it to the man.
To the man. I'm showing the man who's boss. One more, another cultural question I have to ask here. Guy, are you familiar? Have you ever used Uber Eats or DoorDash to get food delivered to you?
No, and I refer you to my earlier comments that if my wife knew I spent $40 to get a cheeseburger and fries, I would be eating it in the shed.
Okay.
No. Have I used Uber? Yes, but no Uber Eats.
But no Uber Eats and no DoorDash. DeSantis, Justin, same question. Have you guys used Uber Eats or DoorDash?
I remember using it during COVID when no one was leaving the house or apartments or whatever, but I don't use it anymore because I'm afraid that people are going to eat my French fries or something. I just can't have that as a germaphobe.
So when you did use it, what do they charge you?
Oh, it's really expensive. It's probably like an additional $10 to $12 per order, and that may even be before tip. I haven't used it in a while, but I know their pricing was not good.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this kind of food delivery charge. The last time I used food delivery on anything, I think, was getting a pizza delivered in a snowstorm. But I have never used Uber Eats. I've never used DoorDash, and I won't because I'm cheap. And because I'm cheap, I don't have to subscribe to this new thinking, $27.39. Are you aware of the $27.39 project, Guy Shiraki?
No. What is this?
This is the coolest. My buddy Jim Stovall, who I put on the Pure Opelka podcast all the time. He's a blind guy who writes books he'll never read, and they're made into movies that he'll never see. But he's always on top of things. He teaches entrepreneurial thinking at the Stovall Institute at Oral Roberts University, and he said the kids are all doing this 2739 thing. And I said, what the hell is it? He goes, they try to not spend $27.39 a day, and it goes into an account. And if you actively say, I'm not gonna go out to lunch today, I'm gonna carry my lunch, I'm gonna make a thermos of coffee, I'm gonna just be smart about my money. At the end of the day, if you save $29.39 a day and put it in an account, at the end of a year you have $10,000. Just think about it. $27.39 a day. At the end of a year, you have put $10,000 away. And he had a couple of the kids that he teaches, these are college kids who are going to school, said, we're juniors in college. We both did the 2739 challenge. We now have $20,000 and we're trying to do it for 2 years so we can put 40 grand down on our first house. And I'm thinking, this is the kind of thinking we need. And no one's, stop with the Uber Eats. Stop with the DoorDash.
Okay.
Put 2739 into an account that you can't touch. Just have it automatically transferred. At the end of a year, you wake up, you got 10 grand. And it's just something that you'll never even think about. So just one of those other crazy things. I just had to get some societal things in here, Guy, because you are someone who's got your finger on the pulse of societal evolution right now, I think.
Let's talk. And if I don't, the kids I coach teach me, right? So I learn one way or the other. Although they're probably not, they're 13. They're not yet at the save $27 a day. They're more of the get me Uber Eats, or they show up at the game with the Wawa Frappe Whip 87 additives because they tell me it helps them wake up, and I just cringe. But anyway.
Yeah,
yes.
it's amazing to me, and we would have never gotten away with telling our parents, "Hey, we need Uber Eats today."
Yes,
just would not have flown. Guy, you have two pieces that are out that we should talk about today. One is one I applauded you for when you first posted it a few days ago. The time is now for a common sense coalition. I would say, Guy, not to rewrite your headlines, I would love to see a common sense revolution, but I'm not sure we have a possibility, especially with the influx of the Democrat socialists. Are you getting a decent response from all sides on the common sense, the push for a common sense coalition?
Yeah, a lot of pushback from friends and friends on the left. That immediately go to, but Trump is mean, but Trump is crazy, but Trump is a fascist, and again, I've tried to, I hope it's not too subtle of a difference, which is there are Democrats and Republicans who are full of malarkey. There are people whose ideas seem okay but just don't work. There are people who try and fail. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what you and I have been talking about it for a few years now, which is things that are demonstrably stupid or upside down and backwards, right? It is open borders. It is telling me that men should be in women's sports, that there's 145 genders, that we should defund the police, that we should have no cash bail. I mean, things that anyone with common sense who's managed their own checkbook understands are wrong. Anybody who's lived in the real world know are wrong. And now we couple it with socialism. And these two, these sort of like the nerd table, have all found each other. So crazy, immature, and socialists are now partnered together. And what I've tried to say to people of all political stripes, this has to end. This has to be stopped, right? And so we've got to build coalitions because, again, I'm happy to debate what the tax rate should be. I'm happy to debate whether a sociopathic killer gets the death penalty or life without the possibility of parole. Then we're having a conversation where we agree on values, right? And we're just discussing the how. Should the top tax rate be 40% or 20 or 35? That's a debate. If we're debating socialism, capitalism, there is no negotiation, there is no compromise. We can't have socialism on the weekends or socialism just with food. So that's why I think we need it. So most of the pushback has been the yes, but, or what about? And I'm trying to reach beyond that and say, I'm not telling you have to like Mike Johnson. I'm telling you have to like Thune. I'm not telling you have to like, Ron DeSantis. What I'm saying is that if we're just debating how to put criminals away, how to get the economy to grow, how to get more gas out of the ground, we can all debate the hows. But if we're talking about no gas ranges, climate change madness, that's crazy. If we're talking about no cops, that's crazy. And now if we're talking about flat out socialism, that's crazy.
Well, now
we'll see if it gains traction.
Yeah, I think you're seeing signs of a potential coalition with Nancy Pelosi actually stepping up and speaking out against the Democrat socialists, but they sense this is their moment. So I got a feeling they're going to put a big push to get across the finish line in a couple of these races and claim that they are now the squad in the House if they should win a few more of these. So that's a big issue to keep our eyes on. And I'm hoping that once Pelosi stood up and went, hold on a second here, that you will see some of the old guard in the Democrat Party realize that their legacy will be destroyed if their party is the one that takes America apart, which is a great possibility. The other one I want to talk about, and I kind of want to take exception to something you're saying here. I know that surprises you, me being a little contrary. The Shapiro story. Shapiro, a man without a constituency, a brand, or a record. And I know you're kind of saying that he's got a little bit of a chameleon to him. Isn't that every politician, Guy Shiraki? Isn't every politician the guy who puts on the accent in front of the audience he's in front of, or grabs the Cubs hat when he's in Chicago and the Yankees hat when he's in the Bronx?
Well, I would say that Donald Trump broke that mold. I mean, he's unvarnished, right?
Good point.
No, but look, I think there's a difference, right? I think that if you go back even just on the Democratic Party, Bill Clinton would do that stuff, but there was always sort of a wink. Like, he would come into Philly and put on an Eagles hat, right? He would go into Chicago and put on a Cubs hat. But there was always sort of a wink, like, I'm doing this because I'm playing to the audience. That's different, right? That's different, right? When name your favorite performer comes to town and he puts on or she puts on an Eagles jersey when they walk out on stage. That's it. The Shapiro part is not the chameleon. It's that it's called moderation. And what I argue is it's not moderate. See, a moderate says, I want school choice, but only for poor kids. A moderate says, I want life without the possibility of parole for murder. I'm opposed to the death penalty. I want to spend $300 on food stamps a month, but I think $500 is too much. Those are sort of moderate conversations. Moderate is not saying you're for school choice and then veto the bill and then come back and say, but I'd be open to certain bills, but I'm not sure I'm going to opt into the federal program. Now, as I say, there are lots of positions on school choice. He's taken them all. A moderate position might say, I'm for natural gas out of the ground, but I want to make sure there's incentives for green energy. It's not opposing it and then being supportive and then against. So the chameleon part is the part, and I think you're seeing it on school choice. On data centers, the poor guy's had more positions than there's on an octagon. I mean, he's been for it, against it, maybe for it. Then he's for data centers if they run on green energy. Well, that means you're against data centers because you couldn't build a data center that could run my iPhone, and store my information with green energy. So, having evolving positions is one thing. Being moderate, being a chameleon because you're unafraid. And as I say, he wants to ride both lanes, right? After the New York primary, on the one hand, he tweeted that government and the New York primary and all the socialists won. So his reach out to them was say, government can be a force for good. Government can change lives. Government can bring progress. And then he went on TV the next day on CNN and said, some of these people who won, I have nothing in common with. Well, I step back and say, well, are you reaching out to the socialists or not? So I think so I come back to this, as you and I've discussed before. Who's for him at the Iowa caucus? He's not the most conservative. He's not the most moderate. He's not the most left-wing. He's a middle-aged heterosexual white guy who happens to be Jewish and married that isn't sure what his position on school choice. Who's that constituency in the Democratic Party when he goes to the Iowa caucus? You've got the governor of California. You have an openly gay candidate. You have African-American candidates. You have the governor of Kentucky who won a red state. You now have Wes Moore out of New York. You've got Kamala Harris who checks 15 Democratic boxes. What's left for Josh Shapiro? I'm a little bit of everything and willing to be whatever you want me to be? Good luck, Josh.
Yeah, it's going to be
Good luck with
interesting. You make a great point because he doesn't check enough boxes for the party that is obsessed with checking boxes. Guy, I've talked us into a commercial break, and I always it goes by in a heartbeat. My friend, I so appreciate you always making time for me and sharing your views on everything from grocery store self-checkouts to the optional charity donation at those self-checkouts, as well as your work. You should follow Guy on Twitter X. Great stuff. The piece on the common sense, as I said, the late John Prine told us it don't make no sense. The common sense don't make no sense no more. So it's time to bring back common sense. And I think President Trump won based on common sense. Let's hope we can carry that forward. My friend, thank you again. My best to your family, and have a great weekend. And let's do it again soon.
We will. We will. My best to you and your family. Thanks a bunch. You know, Mike, I can make the case that the first 15 minutes was a commercial break. By the time we plugged Target, Uber Eats, Wawa, Acme, we did our job. And now you guys in the sales department just have to go get money from those people.
And BMW of Westchester, the guys that they didn't even know I was part of the 1210 family. They treated me right. Guy, well said.
Thanks so much.
Well done, my friend. Thank you. Take care.
All right.
There he goes. When we get back, we will pick the brain of Lauren Fix, the car coach. She's been out in California. I think she was driving some brand new Kias, but I got questions about the flock cameras. I got questions about the kill switch. The kill switch is a big stinking deal. We'll get into it. More with Lauren Fix, the car coach, next on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
You can now tune in to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
No! USA is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Looking for an auto repair shop you can actually trust? McCullough's Auto Repair has been serving Delco since 1999. They believe honesty, fairness, and friendly service still matter. Chuck and Ralph run the place. No matter your car's issue, they'll explain it in plain English and help you decide what really needs to be done now and what can wait. Chuck's motto is, I'll never steer you wrong. Call McCullough's at 610-446-1230 and ask for Chuck or Ralph. Or visit McCulloughsAutoRepair.com.
You know what I don't like? Paying for something twice. I can't stand that. Hey, it's Rich Zioli. That's why when it comes to your roof, siding, doors, and windows, there's only one call you should make, and that's to my guys at Emmons Roofing and Siding. Emmons is a platinum Owens Corning contractor, which means that Owens Corning backs not just the shingles, but the workmanship as well for life. That's right, for life. Roofing, siding, windows, doors, residential or commercial, done right the first time, every time. Go to emmonsroofing.com.
When the doctor informed me that I had to be transplanted, I froze. I was in shock.
Mr. Gatling was on dialysis. He had end-stage kidney failure. Transplants are some of the most complex procedures in medicine.
I received a kidney transplant at Virtual Health.
We are the only transplant center in South Jersey.
I can stay in my own backyard. I thank them for keeping me alive.
Virtua Health, the only transplant center in South Jersey. Here for good. Learn more at virtua.org.
Summer means vacations, road trips, and spending more time on the road with family and friends. United Tire is keeping America rolling by extending its 4th of July sale through July 18th. Receive an instant $104 savings on any set of 4 tires, plus free road hazard coverage on trusted brands like Michelin, Goodyear, Continental, and more. It's one of the best tire deals of the summer. Visit your local United Tire today. Don't drive alone. Drive United.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Tune in to the Crash Proof Retirement Show Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Joanne Small-Canella and Tracy Stillman. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT from the Piazza Auto Group Studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations.
The late, great Marvin Lee Ade, or Ade, depending on how you pronounce it, Meatloaf. Yeah, that's a perfect return music after we talked about the crazy person up in Maine, the trans candidate, who, according to Kalshi, says the Ashley Webb person has a 1% chance of winning. Although Troy Jackson is the favorite, and that's the guy that's accused of throwing a water bottle at a woman. So I don't know what the hell's wrong in Maine. All kinds of problems. It's Mike Opelka wrapping up your Friday here. Zioli is in next, and then the Jimmy Fallon adventure, of course. Now, I didn't know this. Zioli was in for Fallon the other day. Is he in for Fallon today? Do we know, DeSantis?
I feel like I should know the answer to that question, and yet I do not.
Well, I didn't know it. It hit me because Rich was like, hey, I'm doing triple duty or whatever, because he's, the limo picks him up, takes him to Fox, then he does the Fallon thing, and then he does his show. He's a hard-working guy, so he's up following this show. If you're not following Rich, liking and subscribing, I don't know if we can be friends. Just saying. And my friend is Lauren Fix, the car coach. She is our next guest on the show today. And while I am dying to talk to Lauren about some of the car stuff that she's been sending me, I also have a bone to pick with my friend Lauren Fix, the car coach. So if we can get her in here, if you're on the YouTube channel with us, Lauren is with us right now. Hello, my friend. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you still in California?
No, I got home like super late last night. I think it was like 3 a.m. There was severe delay because of weather.
Really? Yeah. Was it weather or was it the Canadian ASH?
I don't know. All I know is that we just kept watching delay after delay out of Atlanta to Buffalo, and I finally got on the flight. It was like 12:15. Got in like 2:15. By the time I got my luggage, it was 3:30 before my head hit the pillow. So I'm whipped. I'm going to bed early tonight.
Well, good. Okay, that's good. Catch up on your Z's. But Lauren, yesterday I gave you love because you sent me this story that gave me a great Schadenfreude moment. The wonderful feeling you have at the misfortune of others. I'm talking about the George Clooney story that says that Clooney's $14 million mansion in upstate New York burned to the ground because the EV caught fire in the garage.
That was the story that I got a lot of people sent me, yes.
I put it into the Grok detector, and I was told it's Bravo Sierra.
No way.
Yeah,
wow.
Way.
I was in a plane, so I didn't have a chance to play it all. Well, that's interesting. Too bad.
Yeah. No, Lauren Fix is my go-to on everything automotive. But occasionally we all get kind of surprised, and it's one of those stories that you love to spread because you're like, oh, these idiots bought an EV and then didn't update their homeowners insurance, which actually it did give us the opportunity to tell people, look, if you choose to buy and drive an electric vehicle, that's up to you, but you have to tell your insurance company because they are a risk to catch fire in your garage and burn your house down. So you have to update your insurance.
You have to have a certified electrician install the charger, and then you report, just like if you put an addition on your house. You added a bathroom, you would tell them. So if your house, God forbid, burned down, you would get full coverage. And a lot of people aren't. I have a friend who is a super attorney, and she says she's got 3 cases right now just in the Western New York area of fires. Of course, she won't tell me anything about it because there's still litigation in play. And, of course, if they do settle, they're going to settle that out of court. They're not going to make that public. That is, but right now what happens is you get about 80% of your house value.
So wait a minute. You said your friend is a super attorney?
Right.
Does she wear a cape to court?
No, but like our mutual friend Arthur Idala is also a super attorney.
I forget. Well, Arthur, I could see wearing a cape to court, pretending he's Superman.
He would love it.
Thing.
He would definitely do that.
So Lauren, let's talk about things, because in the last few weeks, and you and I have been talking about this for months and months and months, the flock cameras that are pretty much ubiquitous. They're everywhere in this country. They're all over the place. And I've talked at length with law enforcement, guys I know that are riding in patrol cars that have the flock cameras, and they also have the shot spotter systems, and those monitors in the cars are constantly going bing, bing, bing. We have a convicted felon. We have a warrant out for this, a stolen car here. And these cameras are picking up a whole lot of potential criminals and crimes and causing a lot of action on the streets for the law enforcement. And it seems like there appear to be some people that are vigilantes. Are we calling them flock camera terrorists yet?
Well, the CEO of Flock is. He calls us terrorists and worse than Antifa.
Really?
He's been caught saying that a few times, yes.
Well, I'm not advocating anybody rip down the flock cameras, or I think that's not the way to go about this. But these cameras, which are everywhere, are capable of recording and noting when a license plate on a wanted vehicle or a vehicle that's in violation of something is out there, and they send that information to local law enforcement. But aren't these cameras supposed to only keep the information for a short period of time and then delete it?
So they say. How do you prove that?
Well, that's true. You have to have some kind of agency monitoring it, and they don't, do they?
They don't, no. It's interesting how this whole company came out of nowhere, much like Facebook. Suddenly, boom, got another CEO in a T-shirt telling us how to live our lives and what we're doing wrong. But the bigger issue that I see is the fact that he's made himself the face of the whole surveillance cameras. There's other brands out there, and I've covered that. I just posted a video yesterday. I had one on Tuesday and one on Thursday, some interesting things. There are 4 different companies that are out there, of the main companies, that are out there saying, if you don't want to work with Flock, you can work with us, which is interesting. And this is something this is a game that I think that's being played, and we're all being tricked, just like you were talking about earlier. So if you think about those Flock surveillance cameras, and a lot of people are very unhappy about them. A lot of people have gone to their cities, and they fought, and they said, hold on, we don't want these. They go to the town council. The town council said, we didn't know, because it's easy to say that, right? And then it's, okay, well, then that's not a problem. We'll offer you a different brand. And so that's where I think people really need to, I'm just trying to find the name of this one, Signal Trace. We talked about Signal Trace on one of my videos. What is that? That is where they take your signals, for your Bluetooth signals, like your AirPods or your tablet or your laptop or your dog's collar or the health ring or those little bands people are wearing. Everyone's got something, an Apple Watch, whatever device you have, anything that's Bluetooth, including your car. And then it takes that information And Signal Trace is owned by a company called Leonardo. Well, Leonardo saw there was an opportunity that people were jumping all over Flock. What are we going to do? This isn't going to work. So we need to come up with another name. So they purchased a camera company and added their Signal Trace to it. So it's even more invasive than the Flock cameras. So why they're saying, we're taking these down. We've heard you. We are standing by you. Don't fall for the trap.
So what they're replacing Flock with is theoretically worse than Flock, more invasive than Flock.
Right.
So,
or they're telling you that they're taking down the cameras that Motorola makes them too. So it's not just these small companies and these strange companies. These are companies that have been around for a while.
Yeah.
What's interesting about the whole thing is it's money that comes from the federal government. So your tax dollars are going to little towns and cities and bigger towns and cities, everything from LA to nowhere in Indiana. And they're saying, hey, listen, we will give you guys money to put these cameras up. And of course, the city's like, why? Well, you're going to tell your citizens that we're making the streets safer. What politician would not want that, right? This is, you elected me, I'm giving you safer streets. Okay. And that gets them hopefully reelected. At least they like to think so. So this is where you start thinking, wait a minute, there's more to this, because there is more to this.
Yeah.
And that's where I think you need to be aware. One, you're paying for it. Two, when you complain about it, what it does is it opens up a whole new bag of worms, because it's a contract. So there's an automated contract. There's money left over. The money stays with your town. Your town can use it for roads, bridges, kids' events, whatever they want. And so that makes the politician the hero. So they trick the politician. I'm not saying the smartest,
Well, and then Lauren,
but
the money is kind of like the lunch money thing that the schools got during COVID. They become addicted to that money, which does not come from tax revenue. It comes from the federal government paying the camera company, which then pays the local municipalities. And if you dare to pull that out, now people are saying, where are we going to get that revenue? So that becomes an issue right there. It's a big problem. This one,
and the replacement cameras are interesting. So this is the brands you need to watch out for. Motorola Solutions, which goes under Vigilant Solutions. They're the oldest and largest nationwide. They call them ALPRs, the cameras.
Yeah.
Then you also want to look for Rekor, R-E-K-O-R systems. They offer AI-based roadway intelligence. Then there's another one called Genetec, G-E-N-E-T-E-C, also known as AutoView. I like how they each have two names, like to confuse consumers.
Sure.
It's widely used in a lot of universities. And ELSAG, which is not really a word, but that's owned by Leonardo, the people that do Signal Trace, that take all of the Bluetooth devices and say, we can even offer you more. We can find exactly what they have in the car, where they're going, and we can just take those pings all day long.
Fantastic. Thank you for that good news, Lauren. I only have a couple of minutes left here. It's a crazy Friday schedule here. Lauren, can I ask you, the kill switch, do we have any hope of killing the kill switch, or is it locked in now?
It has been locked in. Thomas Massey, although he's coming to the end of his term soon, brought it to the House floor twice, read it. He's got other people that have jumped on board. We have not been able to get this removed. There's been tons of people now jumping on board on both sides of the aisle saying we'd like to get this removed, but there's quite a few $1 million that's being sent over to different groups, mostly Mothers Against Drunk Driving, to educate you on what's going on. So if you think, this is never going to happen, that technology is not there, I am building a list, I'm almost done with it, of all the patents from all the different car companies. Every time I think I'm going to put a segment out or a news episode on it, there's more coming out. I found some more today. I'm like, this is absurd.
So
you're thinking, how do you make it happen? Europe already did it.
If I want to buy a car that is exempt from the kill switch, what's the last year car I can buy that won't have a kill switch in it?
You can buy a brand new 2027 now because the technology is not in place. Some of it is already there. Some of it's already there. But if you really, truly go, I'm done with this stuff. I don't want Wi-Fi. I want automatic downloads. You're going to have to go all the way back to like 2005. I mean, personally, my cars I have a 2016 that has no Wi-Fi connection. I'm not getting rid of it. And it's one of those vehicles I'm going to keep. I've got older vehicles as well. But it's somewhere around, once you hit like 2020, the technology just got way aggressive. And Europe just passed July 7th mandated every new car that's sold must have a camera pointed at the driver. Don't worry, it's a wide-angle camera, so they can get you, your passengers, everyone in the second and even the third row if you have one, and that data is also being collected so they can determine if you are a safe driver.
Great. That's great news. Another
It's
reason to
coming
hate
here, you
Europe.
know that. You know it starts there and comes over.
I won't be buying a new car if that's the case, but always a pleasure.
Not yet. We're still good for now.
Good for now. Lauren, before I let you go, you were out in California driving Kias. You driving anything cool real quick?
I can't give you a drive impressions, but I can tell you about the car. It's the 2027 Kia Seltos. It is all new. They've got X-Line now on 2 of their trim levels. They've brought it down to 4 trims, 2 gas engines, hybrid coming after the first of the year, no EV. So you have one, everybody. If you want an electric car, they offer one. But if you don't, they've got a 2-liter engine, a 1.6-liter turbocharged, and a hybrid coming. And I'll tell you, without giving you drive impressions, it's basically a tiny Telluride. It's 2-row Telluride. I think it was super smart. Kia is on a roll, and they've had very successful years so far.
Very interesting. I encourage you to follow Lauren Fix, the car coach. She's great. Her Car Coach Reports channel on YouTube, a lot of fun and great information. My friend, get some rest. Thank you for always making time for us. The YouTube channel loves you, Lauren Fix. They want you to know that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Take care, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Take care.
Before we get out of here, DeSantis, I'm giving you producer's choice. We didn't run the video of Charlemagne the God talking his reaction to Chuck Schumer passing gas in the Senate. We didn't run the Southern girls announcing their college choice. Which do you think we should run?
Let's do Charlemagne because the Southern girls we can use that for Monday.
We can play that on Monday. Oh, that's a good tease. This thing was really good. Charlemagne the God is a real powerhouse in radio, in the urban radio, which means, basically it's a black radio station. He's really a smart guy. I don't agree with all his politics, but he has a lot of common sense. And after Chuck Schumer had the barking spider problem in the Senate the other day, Charlemagne the God used it to crown Schumer his donkey of the day. Check this out.
Because America has no choice but to treat Congress like a retirement community, because Congress is by far the world's most expensive assisted living facility. The average age of the Senate, I think, is about 65. Some of the oldest members are in their 80s and 90s. Chuck Grassley of Iowa is 92. Imagine what he does in his pants and doesn't even know. All right, Bernie Sanders is 83. Mitch McConnell, we don't even know if he's alive. All right, Lindsey Graham just died. This isn't about a fart. It's about one system where people stay in office so long that every viral moment like this turns into another debate about whether it's time for them to pass the torch. Okay, the age thing is such a distraction. Imagine giving a speech about the Iran war and the only thing people are talking about is the bomb that dropped out of your bunkie. Okay?
I think that is a great way to look at this. You had speeches talking about what we're doing in Iran and whether or not we're making progress, and all anybody talked about is Chuck Schumer cutting one and being proud of it. I give Charlemagne a salute for that. Well done, sir. Well done. Really good stuff. Thank you all for being here for Thursday and Friday. As I said, God willing, I'll be back Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll get to everything we can, including the Southern girls announcing their college choices, and a Marine who was running for the House from the state of Florida who suddenly changed his whole life. He's not going to have that option anymore. He's going to be probably in prison for a very long time. We'll get into all of it. The World Cup news, as the president is going to be attending the final match of the World Cup. It's going to be a great weekend. So thank you for being here. Thanks for being a part of it. Thank you, DeSantis. Thank you, Justin. To everybody, have a beautiful Friday Luya weekend. Enjoy every sandwich. And testudo, my friends. Testudo.
You take care of your dog out of love and responsibility. But what if every scoop that you're feeding them is slowly making them sicker? Not because you're a bad pet owner, but because the pet food industry never told you the truth. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Blank, Amazon #1 best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. Dog food is dead food, stripped of every live nutrient that your dog needs. That's